I'll start it over. Whew, this wig. I got to get through this opening scene though. It's getting itchy.
It does suit you, mate. Though you're looking good. Looking good.
Kind of
Look
warm
good
in
as
here.
fuck.
Okay, I think we're back.
Do you like blondes?
Are we back?
We are back.
Generally.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do the abridged version of the previously on CSI Waterdeep. Armies in Elturel, Holy City, going to the Well of Dragons, save the world. Elturel, planning, war plans, Jacob's Ladder, climb ladder, astral plane, planar ship, Wizard's Tower. Wizard's Tower. Oh, pestilence. Oh, it's terrible. We're in hell. Ee-ah-ooh. And then you guys run. We're gonna go save a diva. Epione's like, I'm gonna try to do a scry. And you guys trek off. Choo choo. You fight devils. I am your father. And then you guys trek back. You fly, and now you arrive back at Mordenkaisen's tower. How we doing? How's the stream holding up now?
We're good.
Did I overload it?
No,
Okay,
no.
great.
No, I had the encoder on software, which is running off of yeah. We're fine now.
Too much acting.
No, it was a system issue.
I blame D&D Beyond.
I kind of enjoyed round 2 a little bit more. A little more oomph into it.
Thank you, bro.
Exciting.
Thanks, bro. Hello, bro. All right, so everybody, there's that moment where you guys are kind of, some people took some damage, but you guys have definitely been rolling around in just the very unsettling, heavy burden that is being in the 9th level of hell. As you return to Mordenkaisen's tower, you get to the roof. You know that it's being surrounded in the bottom by fiends. You open up the hatch, and you guys kind of, you're coming in, and you've got the diva just flaps out his wings, and he's just like, everybody else is dirty, and he's like, I'm good, I'm all right, because he's just radiant and everything. And he goes down, and you see Epione in her circle holding the necklace in her hands, and she's just like panic breathing. You see her chest just pounding in almost something that's unnatural. And as the diva reaches forward and places his hand on her back, and he's just like, at long last, Epione, and reaches on her back, and when he touches her, you see her just fall completely like lifeless on the ground. And he reached down, and you could see on the diva a bit of concern. Epione. So as he reaches out, you know that you're clutching your necklace, and you sort of see what's going through the eyes of the diva through this whole battle. You see him in the cage, and you feel him cutting off his power to you, but you can slowly feel yourself draining, and you're almost passing off your energy to him as he's inside this unholy cage. As he returns to you, your vision fades, and you fall into like a dark puddle of nothingness, like infinite nothingness. And as your visions fades, you hear from a powerful woman's voice. When demons die, they cry out my name in terror. And it shocks you and freezes you as you hear this. Then your vision shifts immediately to a gate in Faerun. You feel that you're back on your earthly, Greyhawkish, Faerunish, whatever we have amalgamized into Faerun Earth. You see this gate opening on the side of a hill, large gate. It's got orange, red light tinge around it. It's like you've seen portals before, but this portal's not going to any place happy. This is a portal that's it's like reddish, but it has like black, lines and waves going through it. A blindfolded angel in the front of a massive cavalry, full plate with large lances. This blindfolded angel holding a scales in one hand and a sword in the other. This bright blue, tealish longsword in one hand, riding a golden mastodon. She raises her sword and she points down at the gate, and in a different voice but the same power. When demons die, they will cry out my name in terror. And the cavalry just thunders. Just, you can see the earth just shaking like rocks, just starting to hover as thousands of horses burst down into this large portal. Your vision snaps again as this large cavalry blasts into the side of this army of demons that's already in combat, and you just see as the mastodon hits, just demons flying hundreds of feet in the air, just totally getting smashed by this cavalry. And then, like, once again, you hear echoing in the distance, when demons die, they cry my name in terror. And it kind of drifts off. Epione's body is on the ground, and the diva looks at you all with concern. He's like, this must have, he looks over at Connor. He's like, this must have, the transfer of my power it must have completely drained her, but we must get her immediately out of Avernus. There's only one place, I believe, that's holy enough to provide a resurrection. And he speaks of the High Hall and the Fist of Torm. He describes the Fist of Torm can be used to break a lock like this, and it's got enough celestial energy there if we can provide a proper resurrection. As he points at you, Henry, and he's like, we need to get back, and we need to get this ritual going. Mordenkainen sitting there off to the side. He's got, like, a couple things kind of standing there for any last moment that anybody has, as the diva scoops up Epione into his arms, and he begins to, slowly, he's looking back, and he's just like, we don't have much time, but there is some time. Feel free to wrap up whatever you need done. He's like, at least my spirit being here is going to cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah. As he says that, I turn to him and say, if Epione doesn't come back, you'll be getting more than anything.
Yeah.
I'm just not happy with him.
I get what you're trying to say. I get you,
not
bro.
happy with him. I'm not
happy either, but there's a long story.
I know, but as far as I can see, it's his fault this is happening.
Yeah. That's true. I'll take this, he says.
Connor, give Mordenkainen that key, and let me get my statues back, sir.
Oh, he's like, excellent. You've finished. I've got you, and you might all appreciate this. This dragon will block Vecna's power from getting to you within 5 feet. And he's doing this madness thing as he's trying to speak through whatever's wrong with him. And Mordenkainen, he's like, if you keep this on you, when you use the eye, he can't see through the eye. This is great. This is for our friendship and saving my life and my powers. This is daily what I like to call Mordenkainen's mansion. You'll figure it out when you use it. But it's a home. It's kind of rad. You get to design it. And Jacob's like, that's really sick. It's got like 50 cubits of something, and you can design your own rooms. Make sure you call it the Stronghold. Branded, trademarked.
I don't know what a cubit is, but thank you, Morty. And I'll
give Mordenkainen the key, and I'll whisper once it's out of my hand, I'll whisper the command word to him, so there's no accidental activation on him.
Yeah,
because I thought that may not go down too well.
Yeah. He whispers it back, It's called Ego.
That's the one.
So he hands these things. Lantaurus is there, and he's like, my mechanical child, here. And he hands 3, blueprints off to him. To be continued when Lantaurus returns to us. And then he goes to Manu, and he's like, look, probably the only one. If you remove that eye, you will perish. You need to know this. There's probably a good reason you have it, but do not remove that eye. And
I kind of liked it. I didn't want to remove it.
at this time, he reaches back and he's like, one more moment. And he goes back to his apothecary table with like baubles and potions and stuff. At this moment, you hear atop you, and he's like, this massive cacophonous crack of lightning just like bursts from these two large red horns that emerge from the top of the tower.
Paragon kind of ducks under a table and tries to get away from the lightning as much as he can, kind of hiding a little bit behind Manu.
You guys definitely notice a barbarian that is like seems not afraid of much, just kind of freak out over lightning as he hands you guys 3 potions that appear to be greater health potions, and he hands them off to. He's like, "Here, noble priest, please, Jacob, take me." And Jacob's like, "Come on, guys, follow me." And he like looks at the diva walking by, and he's just like, "Oh man, that's cool." And Diva's just like, "Yeah, let's go." And then you guys.
Paragon stands back up, kind of a little embarrassed, like looks at everybody, hope nobody really noticed.
This wig is wicked hot. Okay.
So I gotta ask about this this ritual to take care of Epione. Would Henry know exactly
It's
what
like
he's talking?
I deign to speak of it on this plane. When we return to Elturel, we will speak. Sorry, I keep talking to this. I'll talk to that. My bad.
No, it's cool. You can talk to whatever you want to talk to with that hair on.
Epione looked pretty awesome. Anyway, so Epione's just like arms dangly, you know what I mean? And he's got her, and he gets up the stairs, and he immediately, grabs one rung of the ladder and climbs up, and the ladder has the white, square above it, and boop, goes into it and begins to like, move down. You guys are free to, either stay in hell, which is fantastic. It's a sandbox.
We need to
follow
stay there.
Epione.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Okay.
You got people.
I'll be the last one out.
And
That's
it's
because you don't. Is that because you don't care about Epione anymore? Now you're evil. Oh.
Oh. But really, what I do is, before everybody else leaves, I reach down to Kaigon and I grab him like, "What the f was that?" There's no barbarian in my party that's gonna freak out over something like that, and I tell him to get the hell out of here.
Ooh, nice. Tough love. I like it.
I follow his instructions. I tell him I'll explain it to him later.
Does Kaigon have is there like a barbarian pecking order that they need to go like pee on stuff? Or I don't know.
Kaigon kind of accepts that Manu's a little higher on the totem pole than he is.
We just need
We need all the friends we can get, right?
Yeah.
But man,
You're dead.
I'm at 100 IQ right now. Just
Yeah. I guess I don't know how that works, because I know on the religious side you have your religious positions and whatnot. I just didn't know if barbarians had like.
I think it's how big your chest is. I think it's how big your buys and chest are. Who's ever. He's got that shell on his back, which gives him more,
Whoever has
More
the
street cred.
It's thick.
The-
It's called
The other
thick with
option we
2
could do
Cs.
is we could put them in a ring and see who comes out alive, and then that one's in charge.
I'm down.
This is taking a turn once again.
Let's do this in
I mean,
Elturel.
they just throw
Are you
him
guys
inside.
all walking down this ladder?
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely move.
I'm out.
All right, Zesus, you're out. Yeah, you got a weird vibe. So Zesus, I'll just for you. You know of the stories that your father told you.
Yep.
about your grandmother, who went into was a part of the Hellriders in the Hellriders charge.
Serial's charge and Avernus. Yep.
Yep. So you know, a little bit of you kind of looks around. As you do look down, you do see the perpetual battlefield that you heard of. You see perfect square legions of devils clashing against mobs of chaotic demons against the River Styx. And just for a moment, a little bit of you like longs, you know what I mean, to get into that fight and crush, you know, evil no matter what. But then you know, well, I guess I'll follow a legit angel. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are in the presence of a legit, by the books 5e angel bro, you know, but just looking chiseled and clean.
I'll follow that anywhere.
Just so handsome. Whew. All right. So he gets out. You guys continue down the ladder. And Jacob, you know, is at the top of the ladder, and he's like, well, see you guys later. I'm going to take the ladder back. And as you guys descend, it's daytime in Elturel. It was nighttime when you guys left, but it gives you... The ladder is about 40 feet off the ground. And what I can say is, as you're coming down the ladder, the diva going first, you're landing on what are the two bridges that go into the upper city. I don't know how this works in Elturel, but it's canon. Somehow the bridges go uphill. I don't know. Anyways, there's these two bridges that are important. It's called the Torm's Reach and Torm's Blade. As you land, as the ladder gets down to the bridge, Nirvana, the diva, you know, is holding Epione in his hand, and he's looking up. He's holding the ladder, and he's got her in her other hand, kind of cradling her, and you guys come down. If you wanted to, you know, just basic, no perception at all, Connor, as you come down, you notice in the High Garden, the whole High Garden is tense. You guys left and there were like, you know, a third of it was tense, but it's nothing but military tense now. And instantly you realize, like Krokgar being a ranger as well, several days have gone by. The animals that were in High Garden, you don't sense them anymore. Like they've been flushed out. So you get the feeling it's a friendly army, but the city is absolutely just packed. With refugees and things like that. Kaigon, and sorry this is a lot of Timism. It'll slow down here in a little bit. So Kaigon, as you get down to the bottom of this bridge, you see a bunch of mumbo jumbo that looks like, you know, celestial writing or a foreign, you know, language against the bridge. In one of these spots, you look over and you recognize some of the engraved writing in Celestial, and it looks like, you know, whatever looks cool in your mind. As you read this, you flash to one of the wooden beams in your house. A crack of lightning goes off outside of your house. Just lightning everywhere, just like strikes the tree outside of your house. It was a horrible thunderstorm that had been going on for like all day long. Your mother takes you in your hands and then kind of points up to this beam, and she tells you that the beam, you know, it says courage and sacrifice is the path. And then she takes you in arms and, you know, comforts you with that phrase, that courage and sacrifice is the path. And you know that what you just saw on that bridge, for whatever this means, this is no foreshadowing involved. I just say things, but courage and sacrifice is the path. Okay. Anyways, so you recognize that as you go by this bridge that you haven't been on. Okay. The diva gets down and he's like, you know, he instantly recognizes. He's like, meet me at the High Hall. and he takes Epione in his hands like so. His wings unfurl in just the most like dramatically epic way, and whoosh, he flies, straight towards the high hall, which, it's on the other end of the. I need to cut my bangs. Other end of the High Garden.
Well, just tell him to fly there now. You're faster than us.
He's flying. He's headed. He's like, let's go. Is what he's saying. He's like, I'll meet you there. Is what he's saying.
I'm going full speed.
Yeah, clearly I have to follow this. I don't have a choice.
Okay.
I just feel real out of place because I'm not read in on what the hell is happening. With great haste, I move.
Look, so Connor and Krokgar, not Kaigon, right? Connor and Krokgar, you hear telepathically from the diva as he flies off. Find a priest of Lathander. We need to know what their offering will be. But he flies off.
All right.
Priest of Lathander.
Yeah. The rest of you, Krokgar, Kaigon. Gosh, dang it! I need labels on Discord. Kaigar, Krokgon. So, Kaigon, where do you want to go? You following? You go into the high hall?
I'm gonna follow. Yeah.
Okay.
I know her very well, but she seems like a pretty important part of the team, so I'm gonna follow along.
Henry, high hall. Manu.
I'm gonna stop by the High Garden and pick up the tower before we head up into the High Tower.
Zesus. Wait. Okay. Zesus.
Yep. Following.
Okay. Copy.
So, question on the telepathy part. Do I know it went to more than one person, or do I just think it went to me?
I mean, you heard it, but I'll say your passive perception that as it shocked you, you would have noticed as you guys were sitting there that another like you can, like two people can hear things. Maybe you can roll for perception if you want. Yeah, go give a perception roll. Sorry, we should play some Dungeons and Dragons and not Tim railroading you.
I actually got, this is a scary number, I've actually got 17 on my perception roll. There's something wrong with me.
17?
Still say you noticed though? I still say, despite the fact that you notice that there's a giant army arriving, like 17's still a pretty good number.
I got a 29.
Oh.
Well done you.
Yeah. You get the idea that you see his hand as he's pointing like two fingers at the two of you. Like you guys are off to the side and he goes, like he's like looking at you and you see that he points at the both of you with like two fingers.
Hey, so who is that? Where do we find him?
Lathander is just one of the sort of major deities around here. Where do obviously I don't generally pay attention to a lot of where the sort of the temples and that are. So I'm just going to say, where the hell is
a party member in your party that lives in Elk
exactly.
Yeah. And he's wearing his full plate mail, you know what I mean? Just doing Zesus things.
Okay.
Does Elturel look the same as when we left?
It's on. Yeah, absolutely. And you know that the Temple of the Thanders on 1st and Martin Luther King, which is like right down the street.
Right.
I'll turn to Zesus and ask him, where's the Temple of the Thunder? Where is it?
It's on 1st and Martin Luther King.
down the street.
Do you point it in the right direction?
Yes, I can point you in the right direction.
Right, I'll see you at the Temple of Helm. I've got important, and I'm gone.
So you're going there first, and then
I'm following you.
We'll all meet
I'm running right behind you.
Yes.
So you guys start chucking straight through. It's on the other side of the High Garden. He points at a, it's a very thin steeple, and it's got a sun on top of it. It's like a golden sun with all sorts of, star points out of it. Kind of very humble, but it's just this bulb that looks like, the sun.
As I'm running, I've got Krogar. I'm Krogar. What does he mean by what offering they have? What's that?
I don't know. Maybe they're offering up some like people or something. They're sacrificing.
I don't know. It's a bit weird.
So as you guys are trucking through, you definitely notice that armies of Neverwinter are there. So you notice that you go by a few of the what were they called? What was Kalimvor? The Knights of Kalimvor? That remember Mirren back in the day? You see with like the bones in the scales, it triggers your mind that it must have been a long time, because like those dudes were like 4 or 5 days out. And you see them looking exhausted, and they're just like nomming food and getting their collective shit together to be able to press. But you notice one other thing, Krokgar. You notice that people are starting to break down structures. That's just something that, you know what I mean, through that strong 29 that you got. You notice that like it's not necessarily, if they were long-term staying, it doesn't seem like long-term staying anymore. Like you see a prepared for movement, and you guys burst through, and you cross, a kilometer's worth of gardens and whatnot. There's druids in their little druid circle doing druid things. They've got animals and all sorts of stuff getting ready. You see like a tree, starting like outstretch its arms and kind of sit down and do this thing. So the druids are prepping for stuff. You don't see a lot of like mages, and as you guys get across this massive shadow that everybody in the party sees, Manu, Zesis, Kygon, Henry, as you guys are halfway up the High Garden, you'll look up and you see Protanther in his, just eminence stop and just like land on a nearby like structure. Just take, and he, does a thing with his neck, and you see him like pull like the bones of an elk out of his mouth, you know what I mean, as he's eating, and just like kind of sits there and oversees the High Garden itself. The dragon's got to eat, Krokgar.
Does he recognize us? He sees us. He knows.
If you guys, so he's on your side of the street. You guys are rolling by, what was that? Sir something or others, that store. Sir, yeah, that retired paladin. You guys are like right there where there's wooden sign, Sir starts with an R. And as you look up, he's probably like 2 or 3 stories up on a large stone building, and like he kind of looks at you and then looks over at everything else.
So I'm gonna use the thaumaturgy.
Okay, cool.
Attempt to persuade. I got a 22.
Okay.
Be like, Protanther, need some help, buddy. So thaumaturgy to make my voice heard, and then the persuasion to try and get his attention to.
Reaches down, looks over his head, and he's like, "How can I be assistance, dear Henry?"
Need to meet you at the keep. Epione's in trouble. We've got a diva. Explain in CSI Waterdeep Take 2 today methodology.
Yeah. I got you. Real fast. Hell.
Yeah. Hell, Epione.
Ladders.
Diva.
Dead.
Yeah. Jacob. Mordenkainen showed up.
Whoa. You had me a Mordenkainen. I gotta hear this. He reaches down and he's like, he points at the dork with the red beard, and he's like, "Is he with you?"
Yeah, he's with us.
You just, this gigantic golden paw reaches down and scoops you up. And scoops you up, Henry. And he's just like, he grabs with his back paw, he reaches for Manu. Are you in?
I'm good. I'll walk up.
He's like, all right, stay with him. And he looks at Zesus and nods, and it's like, and then he flies you guys off to the high hall. These 5 tall spires, a giant, rose mirror window, rose, one of those big circular stained glass windows that's got like this palm with an eye in the middle of it. And it's like, it's silverish in the light of the companion. It just constantly has a nice beam that goes through this. Like, most epic shit ever. No more adjectives. Most epic shit ever. You guys, whoosh, you land, on the inside of the keep. Over to the other side's the Palace of Justice, that's kind of by itself. It's a square, simple keep. There's I told you there's the wooden hangman's noosey gallows that's out in front, that's kind of off-putting for a holy city, but you've already dealt with that, Henry. He drops you guys down and then polymorphs into Sir Protanther, and he's just got this like white golden full plate mail on, and you see those toolboxes that are the Order of the Companion. They're kind of off, getting themselves ready, and like there's like one Hell Rider kind of walking by. They're really not welcome in this place. But same thing, you open up into this huge, you see these large columns, and you walk in, and then you see these large rows and rows of pews all the way up to the altar that's a closed fist of Torm. And it's just kind of sitting in the front, and around the altar, 10, 20 feet on either side are these like black stone pillars that go up like 30 feet, and make it real, epic as shit, and you guys kind of start marching through, and Pariah Jinx is up in the front, giving a sermon, as they would, and Manu and Zesus, you guys are still like trucking it.
Yeah, I'm trucking it, and as I see soldiers and knights pass by, I'm giving them the old hurrah.
Oh, and it's like, so roll a perception check. Everything's perception. Roll an insight.
Perception is 19.
Okay, yeah. So just to roll a die, just because I felt like I've been railroading. But anyways, you notice that because you're with Manu, you hear dudes off on the side, like almost freaking out, and you get the feeling that they thought you guys were gone. And you just hear like, oh, Manu! And just like, these groups of formations, like they're just practicing marching, getting their shit together, like, right face, we're gonna be marching up and down the square, just sergeant majors screaming and yelling at dudes, getting them ready to go to march into combat. And then all of a sudden everybody kind of stops, and as you guys get to the high hall, it like collects more and more and more and more and more as people are trying to touch you guys and reach out, because this went from like 4,000 soldiers to close to 40,000 soldiers in like it's like claustrophobic almost as you guys get to the front gates, and you can tell that it's starting to pack up where it's going to be difficult for you guys to even get into the high hall. Okay. But there's nobody that you can see that but it's just like randos that you're the turtle that looks like Satan, and you're the the Hell Rider in full plate mail. You know what I mean? Like the Hell Riders these days, they don't afford full plate mail. They got like chain and scale mail and stuff like that. So they get who you are, and there's that tinge of hope that the Hell Riders, can redeem themselves. Anyway,
so I look around and I give a hearty hurrah. It's like we'll be back down, but we have business in the tower, so let us through, and we'll see you out on the battlefield.
Yeah, roll whatever you want to do, whether you want to persuade or intimidate.
There's no intimidation. That would be a 21 persuade. 16 performance. We'll go with that.
16 performance. Yeah. So there's some people kind of want to help, but it's getting. You guys are getting slowed down.
All right. So yeah, I'll roll a intimidate because I don't really care about what they feel. But
okay.
What do you want me to roll?
Yeah, it's intimidation, so it's legit
so
probably
25.
Okay, so Manu, out of just breaking total Manu character, it's just like, hey guys, you've been a celebrity for quite some time, so you know that this could turn on you. So you're like, hey guys, hey, thanks for coming out, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden from behind you, Zeus is just like, get fucked, and just like starts like shield bashing people. We're on the move, and they're like, they get it together, and they're like, oh, that's right, the world's about to end. They see you sweating and you stink like just turds from the Avernus, like it's not good. You got Avernus muck about you. And the crowd opens up and begins to funnel like a no kidding, really cool celebrity line all the way in. Like this is the moment, like, grown men are throwing their underwear at you kind of thing. Like, and then you're like, that's weird. And you kind of keep trucking. I got to slow down the.
Do you know what, Kroggar? I'm quite glad we're not there.
Yeah.
So you guys feel.
Soiled underwear being thrown at you.
You guys definitely hear, yelling and things like that going on, and you find yourself in a lonely wooden church. It's got its various lacquers on it to keep it from, melting in the sun or whatever. So it's it's well painted and, but it's very simple. There's a garden out front. Trimmed lavender on either sides of a stone path. You hear the roaring of people off to the side, but there's birds and stuff, and you see that the door is open inside the church, wooden church, and down the path probably 20-30 feet you hear a high-pitched male voice, like kind of yelling a bit, like a very passionate sermon.
Is that what we experienced as we walked in?
You are in the clutches of Protanther. He's at the Church of Lathander. Sorry. My bad.
So I'm just going to look at Kroggar and go, this is going to go one of two ways. But time is of essence.
The guy singing's probably a priest. Let's go with him.
Yeah, I'm just going to basically open the door and walk straight down the...
Okay. You open up the door, but it almost doesn't... You can't hear... You can't hear it as, like, you hear, like, 3 or 4 people, like, speaking in tongues and, like, it's very... a couple people standing up and singing verses that you never heard, and this guy, long black dreadlocks, he's got like a beaded vestments, very beaded. It's like all the colors of the rainbow on the way down. And he's got a symbol of the sun on his chest, and you hear him just like, the angels speak to me. They speak to me. We must destroy the demons. What say you, Ranger? As he points to the lizard walking in.
Sure.
Okay, excellent. Well, I didn't expect that. Come on in, my children. As he yells, and he grabs his dreads and moves them out of his face as they're sticking in a sweat. You know, he's a dark-skinned man, very thin man, piercing eyes, and a very charismatic approach as he keeps, you know, talking about how like he's specifically getting speaken to by the angels to destroy demons.
And as I get towards him and go, there's an angel here now at the helm, at the temple to Helm.
Stop. We have a brother that also speaks to the angels. Come to me. What is your name?
That's not important, but my name's Connor. I'm from Stronghold. You might have heard of me.
Oh,
we need
our hero.
We need you, though, at the Temple of Helm now to assist us with a resurrection of one of the most important members of the party.
Your passive perception. It's Torm. It's the other way. Helm. Yeah, but yeah. So he's
I'm gonna grab him and just start dragging him out the door.
Oh, okay. Unhand me. What do you need? What brings you
I already
here?
told you what we need. We're going.
We've been told to ask for your offering.
My offering? You're offering me?
No, we have been told to come here
and
get
stop these men.
And get the. And I will use the name of the diva that I know and say,
okay.
Angel, whoever it is, has sent us here for your offering.
You're really good at names, Connor. I'm
not. Who are you again? What's your name?
Yeah. The name's Nirvana, bro.
I'll say, Diva Nirvana has sent us here for your offering to be able to assist with resurrection. I have no idea what that means.
You can call him Kurt for short.
Do you need okay, so roll persuasion or intimidation before he reaps his arm out of your hand.
Oh, okay, persuasion, right. 24.
He's like, this sounds like an amazing idea. So, you need an offering from Lathander, I presume.
Yes.
We must think of birth and renewal. Let's go. And he keeps he goes with you guys forward. You notice as you keep marching by, you leave the very humble wooden church amongst all of these stone cathedrals everywhere. These very powerful. You know that Helm down the street is like a fortress, right? And it's got a bless you. We're talking about cathedrals. Might as well in hoc signo winces. And so you notice that this is kind of very it's different, but it's nice. It's lovely. Very well kept gardens and stuff on the side. Epic as shit. So anyways, you guys leave. You go through the High Garden. High Garden's very fantastical. The High Garden now, with so many druids from the Emerald Enclave there, is like overgrown with like Spanish moss and stuff. Like Faerun's Spanish, so like Spanathia from the land of Spanathia, which is just south of Cormier. Yeah, lots of hurricanes. Anyways, so there's Spanish moss everywhere and itchy heads. Ugh, hang on. Oof. I gotta do the thing. So that there we go. So you guys march forward. You guys see these crowds standing outside the palace. Like somebody, some sort of celebrity or whatever is up ahead of you, but it is overwhelming the front gate, Connor and Krakgar. I was hoping for my internet to crash by now so that I could use the restroom. We have 5 minutes, the internet will crash.
Krakgar, we need to get through this lot. Any ideas?
Any what's the nearest building? Can we just start climbing up buildings and jumping roof to roof?
Oh yeah, there's scaffolding and stuff like that on the outside of the high walls. Yeah, for sure.
Thing is, we have got the Lathander priest with us, you see, so he's probably not
heavy.
good.
Doesn't look like much of a jumper.
There's like 3 or 4 of the people that were part of the church goers. Man, good vocabulary, Tim. Part of the
Congregation.
Thank you.
It's okay. Look, you've got the disease off me. That's what it is.
Yeah, church goery. So there's a few, Lathandites behind you. They've got sprigs of lavender in their ears, and they're with you guys as well. And you guys, at the outside of the crowd. I mean, it's a choke point, but
Well,
you're pretty famous, right? Maybe you can get their attention, and I'll just go around with the dude.
I could try that. Okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to find a balcony that I can see within 120 feet of me.
easily 60 feet
Right.
up. There is a rampart, and you see like like a face kind of looking down at everybody, and there's a spear, and he's just like, well.
Okay, I'm going to shoot the balcony with my crossbow.
Okay. Oh.
And teleport to the bolt.
Oh, make a strength or acrobatics to hang on to the wall as you get to the top.
I mean on top of the balcony, like actually land on it type thing.
Okay.
I can do an acrobatics if you want. It's not a problem.
No, roll to hit first. I just
I'll
want to
roll
hit. This is the one. I want to see if you shoot the guard.
Okay, does 32 get it in the right place?
Yeah, precisely, exactly where you wanted to hit, on the dot. Yes.
I'm going to teleport up there. As I land, I'm basically going to go into a persuasion of G'ing up this crowd.
Okay.
Into sort of like a rally type thing to get them up and to get them to come towards me and get away from the road. So my
Let's
friend
roll your
can get
best
in.
elven persuasion. I don't think this is your thing.
It is. It's something I do.
Hey, what about Connor? What about the cloak we gave you?
The what? Sorry.
The cloak we gave you, the teleport cloak.
Yeah, I'm going to use that to get to the
next spot.
He's there.
Next spot, yeah. I need to get to the temple with you guys, you see, and I'm stuck up here.
You're dead right now. My bad. We're getting to you. Be patient.
Okay, 19 plus... So 26 on my persuasion. I didn't even know I was proficient in persuasion.
Countrymen, Altorellians, as you stand. But you can do it.
Have to say
you'd like to keep agency of your character, but it's very... You definitely get a hold of them. Come on, Connor. What do you say?
I say, listen to me, people. Please clear the road. This is of most importance. Come here, gather. This is what we were planning. We need, and I'll basically go into full-on
loads of lawful good paladins. They are like, they just want to be yes men. You know what I mean? They're like, everybody clear a path, and then they start like seeing who can clear the path harder. Like everybody's in the way. They're just Karening like super huge out there, and this perfect path gets opened up for Krotgar and the guy that has not introduced himself, who is he's got a name, and it's a really good, super good name, and I believe it's Gideon Gideon Lightwind. That was right.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Manu had no idea this was happening, but as Zesus and Manu are kind of trucking towards the front, I take his lead and dart forward and leap in the air, and just about the same time that Connor says this, I'm basically gonna nobody's gonna out intimidate me. I'll say that, and I'm gonna leap in the air and land in front of the gates with a thunderclap, and basically do all the cool shit that I possibly can all at the same time, like launch Eldritch Blast in the air, do thunderclap, and activate my rage all at the same time.
All right, so Kaigon, roll a what is it? A charisma save with disadvantage.
Not very nice.
15.
Roll and intimidate with advantage, Manu.
Oof. 24.
You are frightened by Manu.
All right.
Which means you can't even go near him. Right? Like, so you have but Manu is the center of frightened.
Gotcha.
Hey,
Still
anybody
not
want to
fair,
grab a
right?
quick refreshment? It's 997 degrees inside the garage. I'm gonna grab some water and I'll be use the head for like 45 seconds. I'll be right back.
So
I need to go step in the AC.
Let's take 5 minutes.
5 minutes sound
Let's
good,
take
and
5
then
minutes.
we can get on to the next one.
Cool.
Okay, cool. 5 minutes.
See, it's not got to 1,000 degrees yet. I don't know what you're complaining about. Come on.
back.
I don't even have the. I don't have the. I apologize because I don't keep the what you call the chat up, Twitch stuff. So if you need, if somebody does a thing, let me know and I'll also cheer on. But it's distracting and I don't want to take away from you guys. But okay, so now that we're back from break, you, Henry, and Kaigon both land next to Protanther. Henry, you're at the gates of the High Hall. Protanther switches over to his paladin form and begins to walk into the cathedral. Kaigon, you all at the same time, you hear someone from the top of the tower say, give a persuasive speech to make a path, and then all of a sudden this massive thunder twerk kicks off, and Kaigon kind of freezes, and now Henry, make a perception check. You know what? I really dig the sunlight coming off our Priest of Tears. No, it's good. It gives you more of a natural cosplay. There you go. Tears just up there.
Mind you, our barbarian's got 2 little halos going next to him.
That's awesome. It's 2 little birds flying overhead.
My perception is a 6.
Yeah, so
I rolled a 1.
You, I'll say, are starting to be, so, a holy man. This is legit the first angel you've been chilling out with, and he's talking to you like he knows you, and he wants you, he starts looking at you, and he's like, you need to prepare yourself for a proper resurrection. And he's like, Child of Tyr, get what you need ready. And he's like,
okay.
He's like, meet me. We need to open the Fist of Torm.
I'm gonna look over
and he gestures, and there's all sorts of. So imagine you're in this huge cathedral. There are pages and things like that running around, and all of a sudden this breastplated cleric of Tyr walk up next to an angel holding a tiefling in their hand, and this dude's giving you guidance. This angel's in this cathedral, and he's like, Henry, prepare yourself for this resurrection. We need to open up the hand of Torm. And he looks at you, Kaigon, and he's just like, steady yourself. He's like, you're the one that needs to do courage and sacrifice. And he looks over at Manu, and he's like, and he is the one that will stand on the symbol of courage and sacrifice with you. And he walks off, just his wings kind of go down. He carries her and he marches that 100 and some odd feet to the front of the cathedral. And Kaigon, you're kind of sitting there. Henry, you're left with, this is why your perception's a little low. You don't notice that Kaigon is just shizering himself. At that, he's not even, he's kind of stuck next to you. Kaigon, I would say, you have your own agency, but you feel secure next to Henry in this moment.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna take a step away from Manu towards the emblem of Torn, and I'm gonna kind of grumble a half-assed prayer, if you will, and be like, "Hey, make yourself useful for the first time," and then keep following Henry.
Okay. Yeah, dig it.
So is
You
Henry
see this
is the
large plate-mailed fist in the middle of the cathedral as you walk forward, and it's as unapproachable as you'd expect Torm to be through your life. It's not, you know what I mean, the helpful. It's just yeah, whatever. And it was something my mom was about when I was younger. You kind of have a little bit of a memory, but go ahead, Henry.
So as he does his things, as he does what he does, I'll lay a hand on him. I'm gonna cantrip guidance on him because I don't know if he's gonna require any kind of roll.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you're not tracking guidance does, Kaigon, you get a die 4 to any ability roll that you choose.
Okay.
So I'll roll a die 20, add a die 4 to it.
Okay.
As I'm listening to my good friend the diva, Lavander.
So this is kind of in the same round, so he doesn't get another save throw just yet. And what was your DC, Manu? It was high, wasn't it?
24.
It was like
It was 24.
Good luck, bro. Anyways, you guys can. This will work well for it. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it high because that thunder twerk was pretty aggressive, and that's the second time he heard lightning, and then that weird vision that he had on Torm's blade. So Kaigon, something's just. Usually you're the man's man. You know, you're in the big city. You go to hell. This is you're having a moment right now where you're just you've relied on yourself for so long that maybe you need to rely on something else. Is kind of what you're feeling. You guys march forward. Kaigon, the diva looks over his shoulder and he points at the symbol on the ground, and that's where you see at least half of the sign that you saw. Right, that courage and sacrifice is the path to some. You see courage and sacrifice, and it's a symbol off to the like in the front of the fist. To the right of the fist is a gigantic lever that looks like no man can pull.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay. Are you gonna try to pull the lever?
Yep.
Okay. The diva's just like, well, okay. Yep, do that.
When I roll strength.
Yep.
Uh, 23.
Okay. As you reach up and you pull the lever, the words for half of the so courage and sacrifice, right? The courage lights up from like the hand of Tyr in that rose mirror or whatever, lights up, and a light goes to the lever as it clicks like once, but you are engulfed with bright light, and you're kind of Manu as you walk up into the cathedral. You notice him struggling, pulling down this lever, and Henry, getting his various censures and stuff out, getting ready to cleric hard. Zesis, you come up into the room. Krakar and Connor, you come up into the room as well. To our room, cathedral. You guys are all starting to arrive here, and you see chaos going on. You see the diva. You can see the diva because he's a big dude and he's in the front. And you see Kaigon just pull on this lever. And as soon as it clicks just a little bit, light from the companion through the hand shine down on one spot, and then light up the lever, and you can't see Kaigon anymore. Like he's gone inside of a beam of light. You see Nirvana gesturing you forward.
Go towards him.
Yeah, this is interesting.
The
What the hell just happened?
The diva points at you. Nirvana points at you, Manu, and he's just like, your friend needs you now. Courage and sacrifice, he says to you.
I walk over to Kaigon.
You walk into the light, and you can see him pulling like this lever down.
If I lean my face around to his, will he be able to see me?
He looks pretty transfixed, almost in a trance at this lever.
So I'm just gonna lean and I go, "You got this, bro," and I put my hands on the thing and give it the old college try.
Okay, give a strength check.
Strength, athletics, straight strength.
Yeah.
21.
Strength or athletics. I mean, if you want to, yeah, whatever you prefer.
That'll be 26 athletics.
Okay, so you reach up. You're a little bit taller than him. Well, I don't know. I forgot what you guys' heights are, but same. We'll say same. You get in there. You reach for more leverage from the top of it as he pulls it down a little bit, and as you do this, the light glows on you as the second part of the word courage lights up, and the beam extends and engulfs. Everybody else sees Manu for a moment, and then you can't as the beam gets so bright. Manu, Epione, and Kaigon. While you're there, you both witness in your eye, like you witness a great battle where you were just at. The pestilence, the clouds of bugs. You don't. Epione saw what she saw, but what you guys see is demons and this great horned shadow. You see like its chest, its like biceps, its like large thighs that go down into hooves, just with this great club smashing everything. You see this jackal-faced demon that looks like a gnoll-faced demon on one side, and they're being surrounded. And you see this blindfolded angel like swinging, and then takes her sword and stuffs it into the ground as a burst flies. Demons that are off to her left and right go flying. This great mastodon just like makes this like big sound as you hear like, "They've betrayed us!" And like the circle of demons gets closer and closer. As the sword goes down, you see the angel clutch her abdomen and look down, and then look up to the heavens. So, at this moment, Manu, you find yourself in darkness, and then you hear this great breath before you. You look down to the left and right, and you're off on this it's not like a bridge, like a stone, there's a stone path that has like a canyon on either side, and before you it like ends in this massive ancient black dragon head is before you. You can see the shadows of 4 other heads off to your right that extend maybe 200-300 feet. In the distance, you can see Kaigon in front of a blue glow, and that's about it. You see the head look at you, and you're just like, "I owe you one."
Oh, horrible
Oh
timing.
no! Oh no!
Shit.
That is the,
And that's when. And
that
that's,
is awesome.
I'll say, and that's when the demon of the abyss stops his internet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Gross. It doesn't every day about this time. That was horrible timing.
That was amazing timing. Are you kidding me?
You couldn't have done that if you tried.
No, not at all. Oh.
Man, this shit's intense. Holy shit. He's kicking ass right now.
Should we have a 5-minute break again then, guys?
Yeah, let's take 5 minutes. I mean, I feel so bad for him because how do you
Recover from
how
that
do you
and carry
recover
on.
from that? Oh my god! I'm like, what? Like, whew.
I thought he was having a dramatic pause, but then he.
Oh man, that's
The
wild.
longest dramatic pause ever.
Well, while we've got this, everybody, if you're in the chat, if you're watching right now, while we take a break, we just opened our merch store, so take a look at that at store.streamelements.com/strongholddnd. We got some stuff on there that if you want to support us, buy some stuff. We just got that running up to this week, so figured we'd see what that would do. Otherwise, yeah, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back once Tim gets back. We'll see you guys.
internet drops, or is it your router that has a bit of a problem?
I'm not sure.
We're back.
Yeah,
we are
they're
back
throttling us.
live. We are back
Oh.
live.
So, where was I as we expertly timed that? Anyways,
No.
Oh no.
No.
No way.
No.
Did it happen again?
No.
Oh man.
I reckon they're both doing it on purpose now, just to wind us up.
Oh.
He's trying to build suspense.
It's built.
Do you know we were saying that there wasn't much cursing last time? I bet there is this time.
All right. We'll go back to being right back. We'll be back, everybody.
sorry everybody. That's just internets are happening. So, anywho, Manu, you found yourself in that darkness where the ancient black dragon's head, just massive, stands in front of you. Its eyes open up, yellowish green. It gurgles back its acid breath, and I owe you one. This is for Resmir, and takes a deep breath in. But you've got the agency of your character. As you look off to your right, did you see did it drop off? Yeah, so you can see
the blue dragon head doing
maybe
something.
You see a blue Kygon. Yeah.
Oh, blue Kygon. Okay.
Yeah. You doesn't take much inference to realize that he's probably standing before, a biggin himself. And you see the other heads kind of going like so. It gurgles back this breath. 1,000, 1,000, Manu, and
I cast disintegrate.
Okay.
Yeah, right into his face.
Yep. So your eye just bursts. It burns. You see it, and then the acid just flies out of a spout from its neck. It just as you hit disintegrate, it writhes back, but the acid just crushes you. Kygon, You stand before just this snapping and crackling, thunderous, gigantic, gargantuan maybe? Blue head, dark in its features, black in its features, and just you feel the lightning just growing as just thunder starts like going off before you. Go ahead and make a intimidation save. Make a charisma save.
Advantage, disadvantage, straight.
Nope, straight.
19.
19. Your body wants you to take a step back, but you hold where you're at, and you can see other members of your party behind you, and you feel that you're just gonna take this as the lightning just like forms in its teeth and starts crackling, and the thunder just bursts down upon you. You find yourself waking up in this room full of yellow and gold shimmering for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet. As you move, you feel coins in your back. You're this vision. You stand up, you get up onto your knees, and you look around, and you see this hammer that's in the top of this pile of gold, and it's just shooting like lightning just from the ceiling. And you see off to your right, you see Manu motionless, like laying maybe 30 feet off to your right, and the hammer 30 feet off to your left.
I go towards Manu to see if I can help him.
Okay. As you see this hammer,
with him? Like, do I have any idea what's going on with him? Like,
he looks unconscious.
There's nothing around him or anything like that?
Nope. He's just like unconscious in a bunch of like coins.
Yeah, am I still frightened of him?
Do you feel frightened of him?
I don't know. I know
you can
do it from that thunder.
You can do it as you move forward to him. You feel a voice from behind you. Courage and sacrifice. You went to your friend. And as you outstretch your hand to your friend, as opposed to grasping, which you could only presume is a very powerful, magic item, making that choice as you walk towards him, Epione, Kaigon, and Manu, you see a flash. You feel the pestilence, the darkness, the like unending like dawn, and a quiet of a battlefield. You see this angel bow before this massive dark hand. Her eyes were once blindfolded.
No! Come
burns
on!
away. Her hair burns away. Fiery. Oh, did I die again?
No, you're back. You're back.
Oh.
No, not.
I'm not back? Am I back? Am I back?
You're back.
I'm back? Is
You're back.
it still being quaky?
You're good.
Sorry, guys. Where did I leave? So, you see this angel with the blindfold, right? She's taking a knee, and there's this giant outstretched dark hand above her head. Like, it's probably the size of her body, but that's all you can see. And it outstretches beyond your vision. Her blindfold burns away, her hair burns away, and a flame halo goes above her head. It breaks off again, and you see in a different place, in a quieter place, a horrific birth of her just like, take it away from me. And this large plate-mailed fiend grabs this child with horns, a humanoid body, and a tail with red horns curling backwards. Looks like a human, and the beast walks off as the woman stands up with her plate mail and walks off. You guys are still affixed inside the cathedral, hanging on to this together. You guys notice that they're holding, and the diva says, as you guys both make eye contact with each other, and he's like, hold. As the companion's light bursts through again and another spot on the ground. And as he looks back at Krokgar and Connor, do you know the offering?
Oh yeah, that's the dude we drug with us.
And the guy's like, birth and renewal. And he stands back.
Birth and renewal.
He's like, the two of you, take your place.
Okay.
You see the sun burst down into a spot in front of the front of the floor.
Gonna stand on there?
Yeah, I'll go stand there.
As you both stand in this spot, the hand opens and lays down like a table. But you can't see the eye, but it lays down like a table. Krokgar and Connor, as you step into the light, just want to make sure. Krokgar, Connor, Kaigon, and Manu, and Apione, you all see in your mind a road leading into the sunrise. A long, long road leading into the sunrise with endless fields of like lavender, just perfect rows. It's only about just goes up like a little bit up to your knee, but just absolutely perfect rows of beautiful purple lavender, like endless. This long, long road that goes into the sunrise. From this, you see a tall, winged man, very slender, long hair, but you can't make out his face. As he walks forward, he stops and looks down as he's clutching another child. And you hear from the distance, where the sun and the dawn would be as it's arriving, you hear, "No, Celestia cannot spare two of you. Send Nasius and Nirvana. Give your boy to Tyr. They will need fellowship in Faerun." The angel looks over his shoulder. "As you wish, Morning Lord," and he begins to outstretch his hand. Connor and Krokgar, you find yourself in a field of like, not necessarily like tall grass. As you look into the tall grass, you see a stone before you. Top of the stone has a brass brazier. You're far from it, but you have a sense that the brazier is full of crystal clean water. Around the brazier, you see 9 sunflowers all the way around it. As you guys are approaching from 50, 60 feet out, you see a fawn tap forward and begin to drink from the brazier. Krokgar, you see in the distance the back of a wolf moving slowly towards the fawn. You guys can see each other. You're next to each other.
I'm just gonna. I mean, can I just watch? Do I need to? I don't need to stop. I'm not gonna stop the wolf. That's nature.
Connor.
Does the wolf look particularly menacing, or is it just a natural thing that's happening?
Roll. What do you want to roll?
Perception.
For? Okay.
Perception. That's better.
I'm glad.
760. No. 29.
Okay. It looks like it's a wolf. It doesn't have anything particularly menacing about its eyes.
Nature's nature.
The wolf strikes. Brings it low. You hear the fawn like burst out in a like terror. I don't know if it's like fucking fawns. The wolf ravages the fawn. Blood on its face, looks up to you, stares you into the eyes, and walks off. From the fawn, you see a bud, like a plant, and a stalk grows out. It lifts into a sunflower that faces you.
So death and rebirth. Life is a cycle, as they say, Kruger.
Yep. Things die.
Things die.
And things grow.
You both hear from the distance birth and renewal. As you and Epione and Kaigon and Manu, who are all seemingly getting attached to this vision, you see the same road that drifts off into the distance, that hands this child off to this massive, sick, white-looking beard. He's got a patch over his eye, and he's got this hammer over his shoulder, and he takes this baby. And the very next thing you see is this bearded man with a hood over his head, and you see him in what you recognize to be Neverwinter. And he walks up to this stone church of Tyr, and he lays the baby down at the foot of these stairs, and he's just like, follow me, Henry. Remember, justice and balance will guide you. He looks over his shoulder. Someone kind of sees someone like before him, or like this happening, this dude laying an orphan in front of this church, and he disappears into the mist. And then you hear, Henry, you hear, as you become a part of this a little bit, as you're setting up whatever you're setting up, you hear, love will prevail. But this is coming from Tyr, you know what I mean? But so that's, he's more of a justice and balance thing, but you kind of feel you've heard this voice before. You're back into the cathedral now. Krokgar and Kaigon and Krokgar, Kaigon, Connor, Manu, you are all inside this light. You're a little bit you're still brandished in the light from the companion down onto this hand as it sits there open. The diva, Nirvana, as he puts his hand down on the table, he looks over at Zeus, and he's just at their feet. He points. There's a Zeus. You see a sunflower at the feet of Krokgar and Connor, and you see a spear at the base of Manu and Kaigon. He's like, place
Okay.
it.
And so he wants me to put the spear at their feet.
No, he's pointing at the hand that's now an altar, the hand of Torm. I mean, he could talk to you, right?
Okay.
And he's just like looks at Henry and he's like, I don't. He's like, I can resurrect. Are these are offering? And he looks over at Henry and he's like, prepare yourself, child of justice. Your time is soon. I can feel it. And he gestures you to move forward to the altar, Henry.
I move forward and my spell is ready. And then we're talking resurrection, right?
Whatever. You send it. You know what I mean? Like you're a 2-year-old cleric. You've got this. And he's got Epione in his hand and he's holding on to the altar and he gestures over to Zesis to have you place Epione onto the altar. Because he's
okay. So I'll take Epione and place her onto the altar in front of Henry.
Okay. You lay her out. He gestures. So basically, there are the 2 items that are still on the floor, Henry. But you know what I mean? Like the diva's just like begins to like close his eyes and starts to speak in a language. Do you speak Celestial?
One of my characters does. I think it's the other one.
Anyways, he's speaking to you could tell he's doing a old prayer. Okay. Namaste. Yes. Go ahead and Zesis, you lay her down and you can, you know what I mean, like do whatever your character thinks.
So I'll go pick up the spear that was laying in the light as well.
Okay. It looks like a javelin. It's thin, and you may or may not have seen one of these before. It appears to be like a javelin of lightning.
Okay.
And then next to it is is this sunflower. The stalk is outstretched, and it doesn't seem to be withering or loose.
Take both.
Okay. So I'll grab a hold of the sunflower as well.
As you grab it, it seems pretty solid. I'm not trying to say it's a staff, but it seems pretty solid.
Okay.
And yeah, you grab it.
All right. At this
I'm trying
point,
not to steer characters too much right now. I feel like I'm just in pure railroad mode. So if anybody at any point in time, we're all playing a game. It's just a more theatric one, so you can be like, stop, pause. What are we doing right now?
So what I want to do real quick, Tim,
Yeah.
is I want to do a religion check.
Okay.
And make sure and try and figure out, do I recognize this ceremony / procedure? And I got a 22.
Okay, so what you do know is that the hand of Torm, the fist, hasn't opened in a really long time. It probably takes a celestial to open this. So despite the fact that you're going to use a resurrection, you're probably going like, this is the time. If I've got a level 27 spell, if I've got a, you know what I mean, like whatever to pour into this thing. As you feel behind you, the church is full. Like, the church is now full. Like every white knight, the Order of the Gauntlet, you know, as great as they are, they're in like the front few pews, not allowing those companion nerds next to this thing. Like they're like putting their hands, you know what I mean? Like they're making gestures and like taking knees, and they're starting to. I mean, this Torm energy, the companion is like focused straight down into this ceremony.
Okay, so as far as recognition of all this, does Henry realize what's happening, and can he help guide everyone else as far as any questions on what turtle standing here, what do?
You're definitely feeling like this is your moment, and you're rolling with advantage on persuasion, or you know what I mean? Like, this is your time to, subject to that big Waterdeep speech that you gave back in the day. Like, this is, so you got to think. The cathedral is packed. People probably tomorrow, the army is probably tomorrow gonna step out to, you know what I mean? Like, to war, to the end of the world, right? Like, who's gonna give this speech? Fabius Krieg, Phyllis Jinx, Farias Jinx, you know what I mean? Like, as you do get there, you are feeling, you know what I mean? Like, there's a straight up angel like in front of you, you know what I mean? That could be your hype man if if you needed to be. You're muted, buddy.
Yeah. No, I'm down. Hi. Sorry, I had to wash hands.
Oh.
So as long as, like I said, if I know what's happening, I'm gonna start directing traffic for my team, like making sure that they know what they're doing.
Yeah. And
as we continue this ceremony is really all I wanted to do, and make sure that I don't fuck this up.
Okay, so the diva is just like, he's like, the time is now, child of Tyr. Your sister awaits for you. Awaits you? Waits for you? Or waits?
For you,
That's the apple. Yeah, the apple juice is getting the best of the old diva over here.
Can you ask him what he wants of you?
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you're asking of me other than the resurrection?
He's like,
okay.
He's like, your father will guide you.
Who is our father?
Well, Henry's an orphan, so he didn't know his dad. Weird. I saw this movie. It was called Annie.
So
anybody already actually know their father?
Yes.
Well, yours is sitting right to the left of you. Kaigon/Krokar. So I guess insight check for me.
Okay.
And that's a dirty 25. Henry's smarter than Nick, so
you're overwhelmed by seeing Tyr place the baby at the base of the doors, at the base of the stairs in front of the massive cathedral to Tyr in Neverwinter, that 3 or 4 acolytes that you even know of hung out there. Imagine one of those, Boston, cathedrals that you grew up in around. You came up as a page, you did this, that, and the other, and you came up in the church there, and like every inch of where that hand just placed you from that vision.
Am I to understand that I am of deity birth?
You might want to, you know what I mean? Like, keep pushing this button.
Yeah. So, again, Henry's smarter than Nick. Is this an investigation kind of roll, or is this a roll at all?
You're not making an offering to Satan, if that's what you're wondering. Like, this seems pretty holy. Yeah, everything that you hear in this environment seems, canon and legit and dogmatic or whatever. Like, you're on the magenta path here. You're not about to. You don't feel like you're about to open the font of demon. Is that what you're asking? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Go ahead, Tristan.
Steve was like, "You got this."
Should I stab this baby with the sunflower stalk, or I'm not? I don't know. Roll perception.
Yeah, you guys are both the most holy of the two of you, so you guys do have a chance to come together on this thing. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can work it out. But the diva starts to trance out, and it's the cathedral is packed full of people, and you guys are kind of left with, oh, you guys are running you guys are doing a thing in front of everybody. What you gonna do? Like, what's about to happen right now?
I will go ahead and press forward with my spell.
Okay. Do you have the necessary components?
1,000 gold piece diamond, which I've got.
Okay.
And it is an instantaneous. Do you want me to read it?
Nope. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Zesis, anything that you want to do while you see the priest grab this massive, sick-looking diamond, lays it down on this thing. This is your.
So I'll
you feel a moment as you turn your back to Torm and you see this, just every paladin in the world before you, every knight. I would say, you know the history of the Hell Riders, right? That's very marked. It's not good right now. You're definitely up there doing Hell Rider stuff, right? Like, you are a Hell Rider. Yep. And the Order of the Gauntlets in the front. Then it's the Companion, and then you can kind of see the dark stained chainmail, maroon dark robes, brown robes of the Hell Riders in the back, the dudes that do the work. Right.
So quickly, we're in a church, correct? Or something.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah. So I'll dash to the front and grab some holy water.
Okay.
And then cast bless on Henry.
Okay.
Before he does his thing.
Okay. Excellent. You do this, and just from the crowd itself, you hear hurrah! And Henry, action. You are Henry, right? In terms of the dudes that are pretty badass in the holy world right now since the beginning in the Duchy of Skyreach. Like, you're about to send it here on this. There's this massive, bright, like, plate hand with an eye that's closed. Apione's on it, lifeless. She's got a sunflower across one side and a javelin of lightning across the other, an offering to Lathander and Torm, a diamond, in her hands.
Henry.
Upset spike, baby.
You're on mute, sir.
Henry, you're on. Oh yeah. And he's just like, are we on?
Is the thing on? Hello? So I do the Miyagi lay on hands technique. And if there's any visual booms to Epione, they start to close. And the only downfall to this is as any poison, anything bad leaves her body, she is a -4 on any attack rolls, saving throws, or ability checks.
As you as a priest, as you come up in this, you're really down in the rules and regs, right? Like, you go by the instruction as you're going through everything that you remembered, and just by the book. As you just touch her and start performing this, you feel that there's a little bit more than that comes with your body. As you touch her, you place your hand above her. As your hand starts glowing, the light from where birth and renewal and courage and sacrifice are glowing come together to a point off the ground, straight into your hand from the Torm Rosemere, and you drift off Everybody that's already in the vision, Henry, you're in there as well. Zesus,
Okay.
you're watching everybody kind of rogued out right now.
Okay.
Sitting there
So-
kind of by yourself, or everybody's like warged out. Henry. So Connor, Kaigon, Krokgar, and Manu, the four of you are kind of external to this picture. There's a river of clear water, and then there's a river of horror. Epione, you're before as a child, a young child, maybe a toddler. And this is almost like a memory. You're looking down into this bubbling, horrid water that gives you some sort of, like, it feels like home in a weird way, as Nirvana scoops you up and starts running. We have to get out of here. I can do this. And he's panicking, he's scrambling, and he's running, and it goes from scene to scene to scene. Movie magic. He's bursting, he's running, he flies, and every time as he flies and uses radiant energy, more hell seems to consume him. As he finally jumps from one side to the other side of the river, and he meets this tiger who looks before him. He shakes his head, he looks up to the heavens, he signs something, hands it back begrudgingly to this tiger, and hands off this baby as he kisses you on his head. And he's like, he'll get you back to your father. When in doubt, if you can't follow me, follow Nasius. Follow the companion. And he hands you off.
To the tiger?
The tiger looks down at you as a baby, as a child, and brings you along and walks you. You hear this diva like begrudgingly yelling as he's being arm in arm pulled back into the darkness by this massive blue pit fiend with plate mail everywhere. Drags him away. You see this tiger doing a certain amount of things to like pay people or whatever, and Epione, you find yourself staring into this river for just a moment. Henry, you find yourself in Neverwinter as a toddler, as 3, 4, we'll say you're about 3 or 4 years old. 4 or 5. You're 5. Maybe 6. You're 6 Faerunian years old. You look down into this river, and as you look into the rocks, you know, the clear stream, you see your face, as you normally do as you're washing your hands. And then you see a tiefling. A few years younger. You know, a toddler looking at a 5-year-old, 5-6-year-old looking back at you. You see some facial features that are a little bit close to yours. Epione, as you look into this river, perfect timing. As you look into this river, it's only putrid, dark sludge. And you can make out a bit of your horns. And then, in this slight gleam, you see a boy in white vestments, clean white vestments with no symbols other than a pin that looks like scales. As you look into each other, Epione, you see a long rod with a sunflower on the end of it. And you've been in hell for as long as you've known, and you've never seen anything like this before. You've never seen anything this beautiful before in this place of terror. Henry, as you look down, you see a silver javelin with lightning crackling, and you can still see your face. You can still see his face through this. Henry and Epione, you hear a splash. On the other side of the river, Epione, you hear a splash. Henry, on the other side of your river, you see a splash as you look up. You feel that a large black shadow had pushed somebody into the river across from you. As you're not looking into this other world, you're looking up into your world and you see a splash as a hand falls under the water, and this large, muscular shadow with these huge, wicked horns, like the face of a, just this, crazy looking shadow, big horns, big muscles. But you can't make out any more features than this. The hand pushes in and reaches back and then looks up at you. You feel, both of you, Epione and Henry, a child reach up, taking its last breath, going under the water. You look down, you can see Epione, the long sunflower, and Henry, the javelin. You both feel a child no less than 20 feet of you with its last breath gone, and then this creature reaching out for that child. Henry and Epione, what do you choose to do?
Okay, so Epione's back in the game now. My life. Or
Sorry, you did great.
Baby.
Love your tiefling horns. You look fantastic. Thanks for playing. Thanks for your patience.
And wake up.
And I'm awake. Or is it still?
So you are not awake. You are in the Avernus at the River Styx. You look up. You heard the splash. Right. So we'll just do Epione. You heard a splash. And this hand of a boy and falls underwater, and this great black shadow with this huge horns reaches out for him, like to take or to push down. And then
Am
there's
I
this,
able to use any powers that I have? Do I have any power in me?
time, not necessarily, because you're a child. But there is the sunflower.
This is child Epione. This is a vision that I'm having as a child.
As a child.
Okay. Well, can I swim?
Reach for the flower.
I'm gonna reach for the flower, or for the child, because I am the flower, I think.
It's 10 feet away. You're looking at the flower. It's a solid thing. It's not a glimmering thing. Like, it's an object that's in. I'm gonna grab
the flower and try to reach the child with the flower.
You hear the words, "I am the Morning Lord. You are bringing balance." As you reach forward, and the outstretched hand grabs on to the end of the sunflower. Feels staffish. I'm not just saying. Henry, you're at the base of you're at the edge of your river as you see a young toddler's hand fall into the water, and she's up, and you see a javelin on in the river, and you see this hand reaching out, and it grabs this dark shadow. In the dark shadow, it's pulling it in.
Stab it!
Stab it, Henry.
Yeah,
stab it.
I'm gonna grab the javelin and I'm gonna jab it. I'm gonna try and maneuver to
the hand.
Get out of here.
Why don't you roll us a dex throw? Just roll a dex.
Full on dex throw. You gotta love D&D Beyond. 4.
With advantage.
We'll go with that.
28.
Yeah, it's only one or the other.
Can I use my sunflower instead?
No, we got 18.
Okay.
As young Henry reaches down, grabs this javelin, and chucks it with all his might. Probably your first aggressive move that you've ever done. It strikes this massively horned beast who stands up with hooves and disappears off. You now realize that this moment you've seen each other before. Like it hits you flat out as you have a memory of yourself in the past that you've seen each other before. Everybody breaks out into the cathedral. Kaigon, Connor, all of you. The light focused, and it blasts backwards in a bubble of darkness as Epione comes forward without taking a gasp. Her mouth goes grotesquely agape. That which falls will rise again, in a deep woman's voice across the cathedral. And then the companion's light bursts through this dark bubble that everybody's ears are just like ringing with this powerful woman's voice. The light of the companion bursts through the hand of Torm. The eye opens onto the hand of Torm as it gently opens and raises, and Epione is able to slide off onto her feet and takes her breath.
My resurrection worked then?
Yeah. Congrats, you did it. You did that resurrection, and everybody in the crowds are like, huzzah! Connor, Kaigon, Krokgar, you guys have been like, kirked out, whatever, and you're like, yeah, you guys are, like look over your shoulder, like you seem pretty amped. We did something. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what we did. And then you guys see Epione standing there. You know what I mean? Like holding like a javelin of lightning and this sunflower.
I immediately hand the javelin to Henry and embrace him and say, "Brother, it's great to meet you again."
Huzzah. And I give big hugs because that's what I do.
Oh man, they're having this like epic hug. You know what I mean? And everybody gets it. This is great. Manu, this is good. This is good.
Does that mean I get the lightning now? The lightning javelin?
It's there. Yeah.
Manu,
javelin lightning.
Manu thinking back to Phandalin, sees them hug and goes, "This is bigger hugs," and runs up and just embraces the both of them.
Oh, now everybody's. That means everyone else has to hug too.
Yeah.
Is this a group hug? Is this a stronghold hug right now?
Stronghold group hug.
Stronghold hug.
Connor, are you doing a stronghold hug?
I'll go and hug because I feel choked up.
Zesus? What's up, buddy?
Zesus doesn't do that, man.
And he wonders why the Hellraiser gets bad press. That's all I have to say.
I like it. He stayed in character the whole way. Hey, that was good job. I was really surprised that you guys didn't kill the wolf and stuff. So there's some party inspiration there. So you guys can log one.
It's nature, mate. Nature does that.
What are we at? We at the 2 hour point right now, Manu?
Yeah, 2.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute and we'll pick it up from there. And then Epione's back and she can get involved in stuff. Maybe I'll take this wig off. We'll see what happens, or should I keep it on?
Keep it on.
And if you're melting,
I'm already sweating to death. It doesn't get any worse than this. Let's take 5 minutes and we'll be right back.
All right,
Kurt.
Say everybody a second.
We're back. We're back. All right, bros. Diva's just like over top of this hand, and he's just like, Epione, you've done so fantastic. He's like, and he gives you like one of these like, you know, high palm, high five, you know, deals. He reaches out his hands for a hand yeah. And you guys have an awkward, is it, you want to do this or this? Anyway, so yeah.
I thought it'd be like a.
So, you know, he sits there and, you know, he's available to you as well. There's this massive crowd. Zesis, Fabius Krieg walks up and he's just like, isn't this fantastic? Look at all we've done together. Together we have brought this church, and this army is ready to advance into the apocalypse. You get this weird feeling that like Fabius Krieg is trying to, you know, do Fabius Krieg things, you know, like make this about him.
Yeah. I'm a little confused. What happened to Nirvana?
Oh, Nirvana's the guy that reached out to give you a high five. What did I say?
That's him.
Yeah,
okay.
he was like,
I thought that was another god. Okay.
yeah. He's like, did you like my powers, bro?
Where's Fabius Krieg at in relation to me?
Fabius Krieg's just he's got his hand trying to put his hand on your shoulder, like awkwardly to, you know, get pictures. You know?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna elbow him, like right.
It's like,
like I'm not.
These Hell Riders.
These
Hell Riders are jokesters,
right? But I'm not. Yeah,
Jokesters.
that ain't happening. No.
Jokesters, these Hell Riders, and he taps your armor from the side.
Yeah.
So I just have one question. I look at Nirvana and say, why have you kept this secret from me for so long? Why did I not know I had a brother earlier in my life?
I apologize. Keeping my power sent to you from my imprisonment only allowed so much knowledge. Words, words, words. I did my best by giving you my diva powers. Words, words, words. You might have been too soon. If you let the world know that you had these celestial powers, dark powers would advance upon you. If folks knew you were from Mount Celestia, then without this great army around you, without the timing of all this, praise Lathander, you could have been in harm. Your party, your friends could have all been in harm. There are dark forces in the world that could advance upon you. I just pulled that out of my ass.
Oh. Well, thank you for reuniting us and bringing us
Does that
together.
seem good? Should I roll for persuasion as a DM? Yeah, okay.
Can you
I'm
join
in the
us?
non-scripted part of this. I've lost control. But yeah.
Oh, now I'm like,
But you do have an
What's
angel
next?
there
What's
standing in
next?
front of you, you know?
what's next for you, Nirvana? Do you want to join us in our battle against Tiamat?
He looks and he points down at this staff. And it looks like he's like, it looks like I'm with you forever now. That's some sort of staff that can call upon this, you know, he describes to you, you know, blah, blah, blah. I haven't posted it in D&D Beyond or whatever, but this staff can call upon Nirvana.
Okay. Okay.
Non-attunable. You can carry 2 staves. Calm down. You're a warlock. You'll be great.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about it offline.
Or maybe it doesn't. We'll work through this. It'll be great. This is the best staff ever. It's got a sunflower. It's gonna be amazing. Anyways.
Just use it as a banner. Put it down your back.
Yeah, it can be
as
a
I mean, I
banner.
do like,
Yeah.
I do love sunflowers, so.
He's like, ask Henry to carry it. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry it was a sunflower. That's what Lathander made. I'm just a dude. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Lathander asked me to go to hell to retrieve you. I do that. Did you got out? He's like, hey, but bottom line is, this isn't over. I can't speak to Mount Celestia. So wherever you guys are, you're on the right path. Like there's no path for me to get to Mount Celestia. Like he cannot get out.
Sunflowers.
What's that?
So
I got a javelin of lightning on my back now. I got no space for a sunflower.
Yeah.
how much time has passed?
That damn javelin of lightning.
It keeps coming back.
I know.
It might have plot armor.
It taunts me. It's taunting
Every time
me.
you lose a javelin of lightning, maybe a javelin of lightning will come back to the party somehow. If you're not reading into this,
I'm
you're
throwing it at it.
wrong.
Tim, I do have a question about this. One small question. If Connor, for instance, borrowed the staff with the massive, great big sunflower on it,
Yeah.
would I get disadvantage hiding?
I don't think so.
So when I hide, would the party lose the bonuses of the banner?
I don't know. I don't really think I thought into that. Why don't you describe to me more of what you're thinking? 30-year
I'm just thinking
master
if,
slash player
I'm just
character.
thinking if I go and hide somewhere when we're fighting Tiamat and keep the banner safe, the rest of the party can get the benefits without it being damaged.
Seems like a really bright banner.
That's why I'm asking you.
I could do a minor illusion around you.
I think if you hold an object by raw or whatever, right, and you roll, does it give you disadvantage holding this
But
thing?
how about this then? I take the staff, I go underground, I hide. Does the banner still do like a within
It's gone.
30 feet everybody?
If you I would say if you're an unholy creature, you know where this thing is.
Oh,
I'm not unholy. I am perfectly
No, I'm
holy
saying
when
if
I
you're
want
an
to be.
unholy creature, you would know where this thing is.
Even if you're hiding.
Yeah. Like you would have an
Uh,
idea of where this holy power is coming from.
So in that case, Epione, I'm not the person to hold this staff. There you go. Simple.
I can hold it. It's no big deal.
We'll talk about it offline. I know
just
your staff is
gonna
important to you.
Oh, I want the staff, but I can already talk to Nirvana once a day.
Ooh.
Interesting.
now you can have like conversations like, hey buddy.
So
Shots fired.
you might
Shots
want
fired.
might want to explore that. He's going to mention to
Just
you.
say that was
he's
DM
like,
that
your
was
new
DM's
patron
talk
is the
to. No,
companion.
you don't.
Nirvana's not your patron anymore.
Oh,
Your patron,
Ooh.
and he leans up to you. He's like, is the companion.
What?
He's like
You
the
got graded.
sphere of a monitor, the sphere of the thunder, the sphere of holy light is your companion. I have done my job. Now we fight together. And he gives you one of these, you know, a good hand. And you guys just like, what have you been doing? The CIA making you pushing pencils these days? Sorry.
all right. So how much time has passed since
Oh,
we went
really?
up that beanstalk?
Huh?
The beanstalk ladder that went up to the sky? Like, how much time has passed?
Oh, are you asking?
Yes.
There's this lady with she's got long brown hair with silver streaks in it. Her name's Faria Jinx. You may or may not have met her before. She's up there and she's like, yeah, like 6 days have gone by. Everybody's been pretty freaked out that the Avengers left the planet somehow. And you can see as he points, the
There's
cathedral's
nothing fine.
absolutely jam-packed. The orchestra, or the like the second tier, and is now full of like, you see just heads everywhere. Like you guys are in a giant arena. Like Dave Math, I love
So
Dave
we
Math.
now have
Man.
14 days until the ritual begins.
Hey, I'd give you another inspiration. Remember that, but roughly 15. Based on our Drakhorn math, tomorrow the army steps for the fortnight's march.
Okay.
She says, "Great job. You've been reading my
So
notes?"
then we have a day of rest, and then I can teleport our party to the Darkhold, where we can begin our journey in the tunnels to hopefully get to the entrance that our dear friend told us about.
She looks at you and she's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, ma'am, but probably."
I mean, I was talking to the party, not to that lady.
Yeah. She's just standing there, you know what I mean? She's holding like fruit for you guys to eat or something. She's like, oh, okay. Like, sounds great.
I'll say that sounds about right, Epione. Do we know what's? I'm just trying to remember the decisions of what was the orders for the various elements of the war party. Was that made? Were there any decisions made?
The decisions were made, and the decisions were made.
So no.
Yeah. Yes, the decisions were made.
They were made. They were put out, I believe, for like the army to go on foot. Right.
Yeah, what I mean though is we've got obviously various elements of our army, and there are various elements of the bad people. You stop flapping, yeah. Right. And so, for instance, if there is the infantry of Tiamat, have we decided which regiments and what soldiers are going against what, or have we left it to the generals to decide?
Oldar, Raven Guard, and Foz Gundren have this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know that General Sabine, for example, is there. Some heavy hitters in the tactics world, they've got maps and they've been, working this over for quite a long time. But if you want to go ask,
I'd like to see an overview. Just
remember the prince's name.
Rainier.
Just say it's Prince Meladrak. There you go.
Arganathos. Arganathos.
That sounds about right. It sounds about right.
Arganabost.
The reason I'm asking is, what I want to make sure of is, I know we were a little bit light on the spellcaster front.
Yeah.
And I just want to see if there's anything we can do to, because obviously we've got the Gloomstalker Brigade, Eldritch Knighty type people that like to, that can do semi-Connery things.
So
this is
what I know. This is what I know. We have 20 to 30,000 infantry. We have 10 to 15,000 coming from Cormyr. We've got 50 druids, 100 healers. We've got the Silvery Moon Spell Guard. We've got 20 war wizards. We've got the Hell Riders. We've got the Order of the Gauntlet. We know that
we have Nirvana.
We have Nirvana now, and then we potentially have the Thayans.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of, if we are a little bit light on the spellcastery side, is there anything we can do with a shock troop of highly trained Gloomstalkers to go in and take out a few of the spellcasters in the background?
You mean Task Force Grey?
Yeah.
Like, so Oldar Raven Guards up there is like Task Force Grey. What do you want them to do?
Where is our greatest concern? Is it the spellcasters? Is it the demons?
I would say our main focus.
Dragons. He's like the dragons is our biggest concern.
I get that,
to prevent the ritual from being carried out and bringing Tiamat back. Period. Would be our first. First.
Thing is, if you look at the dragons, the only thing, if you look at all our allied forces, we've got a few dragons, we've got a few things that could assist on that. Our normal mortal forces probably aren't going to be able to assist with the dragon side of things, are they? So, what I'm thinking of, is there any force that we could... Obviously, we've got the druids. What are the druids up to in this conflict? What are they going to be doing? What is there anything? Is there any advantage we can give them? Is there any orders we can give them to assist us to sort of distract things, to do things? I don't know. I just want to know what they're planning, because no offense to Fosgundren, he's a fantastic general and Ravengard, again, a fantastic general on the battlefield. However, not all tactics need to exist on the battlefield. There's certain tactics that those two would not select to do. And we need to win this.
The only thing that Oldar can guarantee is a distraction. A window of based on timing. He's like, I can fight for a day. He's like, I can guarantee that this army can fight and distract that well for a day. And you'll probably hear it.
I get that, but what I mean is there any... I'm after real information in terms of if the Red Wizards... Who are you sending against the Red Wizards? If you're going to be sending infantry, they're going to get massacred.
Remember you guys went to... you guys came out with Nye Ilmich? I mean, there's still a Red Wizard that's with you that promised at the precise moment. You know, there's this bald-headed woman comes forward, you know, and she's like, we will time things. When their wizards attack, we shall attack as well. We can't guarantee anything on the inside of the caldera.
Don't worry, the inside's us. We've got that covered. I have no qualms, and I look around.
Tam will bring vengeance upon the insurrectionists, or whatever the fuck their names are.
I look around the whole party. I look at Henry. I look at Krogog. I look at Krygon, Manu, Lantoris, Epic. There's no one better suited for going inside the caldera as this group here. For instance, we've got the Hell Rider in plate mail. Who else do we need? Come on. However,
a pretty sick
outside,
mustache. You see the diva, sick mustache, bro. Angel reaches down with like a fist, just like hit it. Yes. I'm going to war with this, bro.
He's the bandit. Don't worry. As well, I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything we can. I am concerned about the level of. I know I'm not an open warfare type of person like these people, but are we looking at tactics that may be overlooked by your normal face-to-face? Let's just say more cavalier, more not victorious, more yes. I just want to make sure, because they're looking at the traditional stuff. They're looking at the face-to-face. They have honor. They have skills. There are other tactics that can also assist us.
You know, there's everybody's at your aid. You see, was it Terns there, Stormblade or whatever? That High Wizard, Lady Lariel is there. Aldrar, Ravengard, Eleuthera, the ancient brass dragon that's a plane shifter. Protanther is there. You have the resources to ask specific questions. You're asking very broad questions. They're all like, well, we have a plan. We're just going to go in there.
What was the plan for the for my Eldritch Guards? What were they doing?
Eldritch Guards are, you know, they're staying in reserve as like, you know, like not necessarily like the Imperial Guard, but like when a gap opens, or they were being held in reserve for if anything got wonky, they were going to stuff a gap or exploit something to turn the tide.
Okay, and obviously we've got. I know there's the Zentrum, there's the Harpers. I know they're not involved in the combat per se. They're more an information gathering force. Do we have any?
So the Harpers and the Zentarum are pretty depleted at this point, based on their initial assessments of the Well of Dragons. And you guys are all back at this big, you know, long wooden table, and you guys are back at the map for last minute, you know, planning with, you know, with all that the heavy hitters.
On that note, then we've got the. I've worked with druids over many years, especially being in the woods with my fellow wood elves. Do they have any... what level are these guys? Are they reasonable levels? Do they have earthquake? Do they have massive summoning spells? Do they have earth elementals?
The ability to, you know what I mean? Like they're pretty well. Wait, who exactly? The druids?
Yes.
The druids. The amount of druids from the Emerald Enclave, based on your support for them, are able to fill some of the gaps from what Luskin did not provide.
Because I know that summoning the elemental, the sort of the earth and rending the earth is something that is more than in their remit, and I'm sure that will upset.
As you're going through this, a hand grabs the back of your shoulder, and you look back, and Alagarthas, who your prince is just like, I think this is a sound plan. I think you should focus on getting yourself to Darkhold and executing in a timely manner. He's like, you can leave the Well of Dragons to me and my friends.
Well, I trust that, but you know me.
He's like, Connor. He's like, Connor, protect this party. He's like, you're seeding doubt into this war council, as they need to step with bravery.
I am just asking questions. If they're unable to answer, that's their own fault.
That's the DM's fault, because he's not omnipresent supergalactic oneness. Just pretend like Uldar said something very, very smart.
Okay.
And this is like, I got this.
That's fine. I was
but he's a little bit mentally exhausted from being a,
diva. From being a diva.
Yeah. Figuratively and literally.
Just to backpedal a little bit, before I leave the temple, I'm going to kneel in front of the symbol and thank Torm for his assistance, and then just kind of walk out.
As you do this, as you take a knee, you do hear a very present, calming voice. I understand that there's a lack of trust. Seek out the Hammer of Thunderbolts. It is your destiny to protect this party. Courage and sacrifice. Qui-Gon Rain. And it goes away.
I'm going to catch up with the group.
Okay, you're like, oh, tight, cool.
I got something you're gonna need. And so does Henry.
Argent receives a letter. Argent's coming down, you're in a box seat. Argent receives a letter. As you normally do as a rich guy. It's from your father, Kaijil. It says letter to Argent, on the outside. I've been raised to tax collector, as within the city leadership. It's not too long before Council of Four. When you return, odd news of late, with the Fisk gone and these dead 3 cultists running amok, the Hume family have just invited me to dinner. Shouldn't be long as we keep rising, son. This is fantastic news. And as you close the letter, you see this yellow symbol as you've seen before. And you hear Argent seek out the Hidden Lord.
The Hidden Lord. Write that shit down.
Lord.
Yeah, the Hidden
now Lord.
No,
Lord?
the Hidden Lord.
The Hidden Lord? Praise the Lord. Party. Yes, the cathedral is full. We do have, it's not very cliffhanger energy today. If we were to cliffhanger, it would have been before the at the end of the ritual. But I want you guys to have an opportunity to prepare yourself for, wherever your next steps are. Let's do that, and then, if you want to do some shopping, I've got pages of, NPCs that you could run into. I just gotta ask for the right. If there's a particular tool that you're looking for, just be like, hey, thinking out loud, how would I try to go find X, and let me help you through that.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna just walk silently. Actually, I'll grab Manu real quick.
The deep is behind you like this, though, as you're trying to walk silently out.
I'll grab Manu and tell him I'll be in the cemetery and then at the Shield Hall. And so I need to go visit the cemetery and kind of pray to my grandmother, Utah Jazz, who died in Avernus, and clutch the copper coin that was given to me by her before she left. Okay. And then I need to go to the Shield Hall of Helm and spend the night there.
Okay. When you visit the cemetery, important. And you go and kneel before Yael. Yael is your grandmother. As you go into this mausoleum, you visit Yael, and next to it is Olanthius. And it's just, somewhere in there is just like a forgotten love. And you take a knee, and when you're done praying, you find yourself walking to this shield hall, and you don't know, like, there was a vision, but it was completely blocked. And you found yourself like walking, and there's like another knight next to you, like Rhea Moonshadow. Rhea
Moonshadow.
Yeah, is like right there. Like, is everything okay? Is everything okay?
I look at Rhea and say, yes, everything's fine. Why would it not be?
I've been talking to you for the last 2 minutes as you've walked out of the mausoleum, and you haven't acknowledged me or anything normally, but okay. Where are we headed?
Okay. So I'm going to head to Helm Shield Hall, or the remnants of, if it's not in existence anymore.
No, there's lots of Helm Shield Hall. It's still there.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. It's the massive church, massive cathedral that nobody goes into, right? It's very drippy. It's like, you can hear the water dripping from the, 200, 300 feet away. It looms over the lower city, as it used to be a bastion of welcoming to the lower city, right? But now only the high hall is ingratiated upon, or whatever word I'm looking for. But yep, you're in there, and it's very quiet and very tall, stained windows. You see the same things that we talk about. You see the blindfolded woman, you see the great charge, all these things, and the High Rider, the tomb of the High Rider, the last High Rider is there. Hey, Addie.
So, did Rhea follow me there?
Yep, she's there.
Okay. So I'll ask Rhea to join me at the altar.
Okay.
Prayer to Helm.
Okay.
And we'll pray for strength to overcome what's next. Not safety, but strength.
Okay. As you kneel down, you get a vision of someone closing that portal. You see someone closing a portal, like this great charge. You get a vision of of some of the Hell Riders being pulled away by this. He's a pale-skinned man with long blonde hair. He pulls away and retreats and takes like 2/3 of Zariel or whoever her name is army out of hell and closes the gate. And then you see this guy put this weird plague upon Elturel. And then the sun appears and drives that man out. Then you hear, like, as you see this great light before you, this massive plate-mailed gargantuan, just full metal with a sword and shield. Find the shield where your grandmother resides. Find the sword. Excuse me, he says. Sorry. Let's start this over. Find the sword where your grandmother resides. Definitely not a shield. The sword. Defend it with your life and give it to the Celestial. Or defend it with your life. It's your sword. It can be anybody's sword. Have a great time. Love you. And he he's like, sorry, I said that more professionally in your dream. Not the way the DM said.
Did Rhea happen to hear any of this, or was she completely innocuous to all of this?
She's just kind of behind you. You're kind of a big deal right now because the Hell Riders hadn't had someone that like showed out in a while, you know? So she's just there trying to pick up whatever guidance she can to turn the Hell Riders into the light again, you know?
All right, so I'll grab Rhea and say we must go back to my grandmother's mausoleum.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You get the sense that that sword's that's not part of your timeline right now.
Okay.
The image of where the sword was inside of a massive radiant dome that you've never seen before.
Okay.
Stuck inside of some sort of
like
stone.
Where my grandmother is actually not where her burial.
Where she presently is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The diamond in the rough, diamond in the rough, and then yeah.
Gotcha.
Sorry, DM. Whew. I'm gonna take a 48-hour nap after this, but yeah.
All right. So after that, I'll grab Rhea and say, "Okay, let's head to the Black Antlers."
Okay. Henry, any final prep? Epione, you've been quiet this whole time. Epione, any final prep that you'd like to do? And then Kaigon. Kaigon, you're next.
I do need a long rest.
There's a priest of Lathander there, and he's like the dude with long dreadlocks, super skinny, like bony to the cheek, like, hey, you know, like you stayed in there, you met him once before. He could bring you back to the, you know, the Temple of Lathander if you want to take a nap.
Yeah, I need to do that, and then sit and ponder and figure out what the sunflower staff is.
You'll probably find out maybe next episode. We'll see. Need to work on that. May or may not have invented the staff of the sunflower on the fly. Everybody pump the brakes on the sunflower for like 2 seconds. Everybody ease up. All right. So you want to head back to the church of Lathander?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to go float in some holy water.
Okay. Kaigon. Remember, think out loud. And
yeah, so
no pressure.
In a non-character side of the world, I'm reading the Hammer of Thunderbolts and noticing that I'm going to need the Gauntlets of Ogre Power and some Giant Belts. So I guess
your character doesn't know what the requirements are. You need anything that gives you any sort of giant strength. Whether it's the ogre, whether it's the belt. It says, from what I remember, It's any of the belt that gives you giant power and the gauntlets of ogre, I think. Something like that. We'll work through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just says a belt of giant
Hey,
strength.
Connor, what do you got? Connor, help me out. Help me out.
The weird thing about the Hammer of Thunderbolts are you need to have the ogre power and the belt. Weirdly, though, you do not have to be attuned to either of them. You've just got to wear them.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind, because if you've got the belt and the gloves are kind of superfluous, you don't need both. But you could wear the gloves and not be attuned to them. Wear the belt, be attuned to get the strength.
Right.
This is
And
me.
then
I should know these things. This is me being spoken through by Connor right now.
So Thesis does have the gauntlets of ogre power.
What do you know?
What's your current strength, Zesis? What's your strength without the gauntlets?
Not great.
Don't we have a spare belt?
Not enough to carry the
And
crap.
this party is not without belts of giant strength, so
Yeah, we have just let
Muted, man.
depends on your avarice.
we have 2 belts.
I mean, I have
You're muted.
we have 2
I
belts of
have
field
muted,
giant
Manu.
strength.
So
Manu, you're muted, brother.
Oh, we have two belts of hill giant strength, so we're good.
Well, since I don't know that I need that stuff yet, I guess that could be a later discussion.
So, but you could be like, what do I need to know about this? If you wanted to, you could be like, hey, does anybody know about this Hammer of Thunderbolts? If you wanted to reveal that to the party, right? Like, and in that case, the party would be like, oh, shoot, yeah, we know lots about, these types of things.
Oh yeah, because I mean, Kaigon has no idea what it is, so he would ask the veterans, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
what the hell?" Torm said something. Torm spoke to me about a Hammer of Thunderbolts. What is this thing, and should I be looking for it?
Hang on a minute. Did you just say a god spoke directly to you?
It was kind of a vision. Type.
Like,
Wow. No, that's big. That's a big deal, man. I don't think I've ever had a god speak to me. I'm not
never
that
had a
important.
god speak to me. Krokgar's like,
Let's have a little vote here. How many of the party has ever had a god talk to them?
oh,
Two.
Related to one, I think.
make that 3 because Kaigon has.
Yeah, 3 now.
Nirvana's right here. You can speak to him right now.
yeah.
Is that
Who is your deity, Connor? Let's call this bluff now.
I haven't got one.
That's cool. Maybe he's the BBEG that you guys don't know about. Everybody kill Connor. Just kidding. Don't do it.
Would have jumped on.
That could be interesting. Give me a second to prepare.
You do not want Connor to be the big bad end guy, everybody. Just saying he's already enough trouble. It's fine. Without full on cheating. Yeah. So, Lantaurus, you were handed to Mordenkainen when you were in the tower a bunch of schematics, and he lets you know they're like a bunch of blueprints, and he's like, these will be useful in the future. He's like, or if you ever come meet me again. And when you open them up, you see, and you'll have to study them, during long rests or whatever, but these intricate like war machines. They look like they're powered by weird things, and there's off to the side, like, and you need X amount of soul coins to pour into the fuel tank and blah blah blah, but they look like these infernal contraptions that can speed you across realms at high rates of speed. And as an artificer, the DM thought you'd like that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do when it was up on me. I was gonna take the schematics and go off to my corner, if you will, and power down for a bit.
Yep. Who do we got? Manu. Slash Argent. Manu.
So, well, Manu, not a whole lot with Manu, other than everything that happened in that vision. anything? Did all of that happen real time with abilities? Casting Disintegrate, did that happen in real time?
Yeah.
So using 4 actual charges of the Eye of Vecna. Okay. That was the first thing. So let me go back to that and reactivate those 4 charges. I can just do this. Spells. Disintegrate.
You did notice that you noticed that that dragon head was not as big as the other dragon heads.
Ooh.
Glad that was valuable.
Honestly, out of character, I was like, I was busy with the stream, and I was telling Connor to this.
Nah, it's all good.
No, it was like, it happened. It was like, I had something smart and witty that I want to say back, but Disintegrate just seemed like the right thing to do at the time.
It's all good. It did pretty significant damage to it.
So that's 4 charges. I know. Did it do anything else to me?
Other than kill you? No. But you notice the breath, if you stood straight up to it, like one-on-one, it knocked you out.
Gotcha. Well, no, the Disintegrate Ray. Casting that, did it do anything?
No, not with the, if there's something, I might be losing in the artifact itself, but...
Yeah, there's a 5% chance that it could, that Vecna kills me.
Oh, yeah. Well, it didn't.
Okay,
oh,
gotcha.
Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Let's just see if you're dead. This is awesome.
That's why I was asking if all of this stuff happened in real time, or if this was just like in a vision.
I did just roll a 99 though. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so retrospectively, you've dropped dead 5 minutes ago, okay?
Right. Now I'm an NPC under the DM's control.
Yeah. You're all right. Thanks
Okay.
for reminding me that, though.
You mean you weren't already? God.
Due to the fact, so that makes sense. You did die. You know what I mean? So you do know that casting that ray, highly risky.
Well, that's true.
So that's something that you know, that you cast the ray and you flat out died because of it. So this is an end game button, you know, because I definitely just rolled a fucking 99. So that's probably not good.
Gotcha. Okay. With that, I'm gonna find Delan and about the ring of animal handling or animal speaking to animals, whatever. Animal
so
talking.
you get a message, and it says how much time we are on the clock.
I mean, call it 20 minutes.
How's everybody doing, by the way?
I'm good.
I'm all right for about another 20 minutes or so from me, because I'll be asleep otherwise.
Call it 20 minutes.
All right, 20 minutes, no problem. You get a message. So what I'll do is I'll handle this thing with Manu, and then I need to know where you guys are going and what you're doing next. So if she's gonna bamf you guys out, that's gonna be the final act. Okay? If Epione, the final act, if that's what you want to do, if you want to wake up in the morning, and then you know what I mean, you can bamf everybody. All right. So you get a message, Manu. It says from DW, go to Q's.
Like Q, comma.
Q apostrophe S.
Is that a store? I'm gonna ask around. Hey, does anybody know of
How
a
many
place called
stores you guys
Q's?
gone to? How many stores did I make? I did the work. I get to be these guys.
Okay. So Manu is gonna ask around.
Anybody want to go to Q's?
Yeah. Anybody want to go to Q with me?
It's
I'll
in the
follow
morning,
you.
Fiona. You're awake. You woke up. Everything's fine. It's the morning of the grand parade, and everybody's getting ready. You hear bum, ba-da-bum, bum, 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 ba-da-bum, bum, 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 as all the armies are starting to march out of, the Arc de Triomphe of the High Hall down Torm's Reach and Torm's Blade. Big deal. They're throwing Edelweiss and Lathander and all sorts of shit all over guys and stuff. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
everybody wants to go to Q's? Everybody's going to Q's. Fantastic.
I'm going to Q's. I don't know what Q's is, but we're going to Q's.
Oh, I love Q's. Q's is awesome.
Alrighty. So, it's in the High Garden, in case you're wondering. It's about two buildings down from the Lathander Church. Can I take this thing off? From the Church of Lathander, there is a place, and it's got a really nice, pretty sign with a big white Q. It's out front, and nobody's really there, but there are 2 guards on the outside of it. And you see that as the armies are beginning to march out, and you see Dagalt Neverember like catching roses and stuff like that, at the front of the armies, and you guys are all like throwing up in your mouth or whatever, and he's just like, "Yes, I protect the world." And you guys are like, "Oof."
Fuck that guy.
Can I shoot him? Can I shoot him?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Connor.
Can I sneak up to him and undo his belt?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
What do you want? Sneak?
Give me. Oof. Okay, big parade.
Yeah, well, that means people are going to be looking elsewhere and not at his belt.
Okay, big parade. Okay. All right, big parade.
Hey, Connor, do you want to consult with anybody else on this one?
Connor
Is he standing on
Third-
something that Connor could just go underground and just pop up and pull his belt off?
I can do that as well, yes. So that's what I mean. I roll 30. Actually, what is that? 35 on my stealth.
What do you want to do?
I basically just want to underground, undo his belt, and disappear so they don't notice me.
Do you hear him just like, "It's a great burden upon my heart to have to leave my family. But then I remember that you were all my friends." He falls into his plate mail, and the horse like steps on his back of his thigh. He yells, and some sycophant comes up like, "Oh, Neverember!" And they get him back up onto the.
And
onto
I
his
appear
horse.
next to the party, just smirking.
Connor, what did you do
Hughes.
this time?
Hughes,
I did
you owe me an
nothing.
extra 10 minutes.
And I'm like, damn it, Connor.
God damn it, Connor. Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to the guards.
And they're like, "Manu, Daylan has closed off this place for some reason. It's the last store that hasn't been completely pilfered." And you see like a line of like 20 people waiting to come in to like grab anything.
I produced the letter.
No. They left it open for you.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
it's closed off. Only you can go in.
Gotcha. I was like, you're gonna prevent me from going inside? Deland sent me here personally. It's like, can my friends come in with me?
Of course. And it's like 2 Order of the Gauntlet guys. Like, do you mind if we go to war? Like, we've been relieved?
You've been relieved. Go.
Oh, fantastic. Can the other people come in? It's like 20 other people that want to come into the store.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, we'll hold them off.
Yeah, wait until we're done. Then they can go in, and then you guys are clear to go.
Beautiful cottage. This store is like a beautiful cottage. It's like a small cottage with like, secret garden kind of feel to it as you walk into it. A light bell rings, ding, and you see a high elf Finally, you guys have arrived. I'm Kvinith. Welcome to my store. How can I help you? Dear sweet Manu, please, I have something specially made for you, as Daylan has requested.
I'll follow her.
You come back and she walks you, behind the bar that's in the back. She walks around. She's like, this is great. I've had one for quite some time, but she's like, of course, for only 100 gold pieces. And she reaches up, especially for you. And she holds this. You see a wooden ring with like weird inlaid fur into it. It's very soft, and she's like, the ring of animal friendship, as requested.
This is exactly...
Oh, you don't think I remember things, Manu?
No. This will help me greatly in speaking with Ash and understanding his abilities.
Good sir.
Thank you.
Good sir. Ash? And you look down, and she's got a peg leg. Like, she's, shorter for a high elf as well, which is kind of strange. And she's wearing, like, leather armor. And you could tell that she's an old soldier. But she's like, Ash is waiting for you in the back. And she takes the ring, and she reaches out for your hand.
I give her the 100 gold, and...
Thank you so much. How very sweet of you. This is hard to come by these days. And she puts it straight into a can that looks like it goes towards charity.
Gotcha. Well, there's more for that.
She's got the ring. She's got the ring.
I put up my hand.
You find yourself in the abyss. I'm just kidding. But yeah, she puts it on. Yeah, like. Yeah, so you have the ring of animal friendship on your hand. You guys are too easy. I can kill you so much easier than making level 15 characters called Warduke. This is bullshit. I should do more roleplay. Oh, Connor, that laugh. Pete, that laugh is going on the internet tomorrow. Just FYI. Screenshots.
Muted. You're muted, Connor.
You're muted, buddy.
Oh wait, that was a potion.
I'm just trying to figure, what was that name of that guy again? I missed it. He didn't last that long, so I didn't get his name.
Yeah.
Is it? It's the ring of animal influence, right?
Animal friendship, animal influence.
Okay,
that one.
Gotcha. There's a potion of animal friendship, so I just wanted to make sure
I'm
adding the right thing.
So anyways, the rest of you guys are in a well-kept shop. It doesn't look picked.
It will be by the time we finished.
Okay.
What have they got?
There are a few weapons. There are a few bits of armor. There are under the glass of her bar are a few potions, a few bags, and some staffs. Staves? What's the plural of staff? Stave? Staves? Staves?
Yeah. Can we change the name of the ring to the Ring of Animal Husbandry?
Yep.
Because
done. Yeah. Done.
Changing it now.
I love you guys.
So as she gives this to me, I was like, thank you so much. This will help me so much with Ash while I go talk to him.
Nirvana's in there, by the way. Like, you hear the chandelier quake as his wings, like, oh, excuse me.
It's like, please take care of my friends. We have whatever you need. We have access to the whatever you need for whatever we need.
She's like, I have what's called glamored. This is fantastic. I'm so happy that you're, and she just like laughs out loud, like, this is so great. As she sees like the diva in the background, she's like, I have glamored, feathered leather armor, I have the Giant Slayer. This is quite the device that maybe some of you would be into. I have Adamantine Plate if you have the money. I have a few maps of Baldur's Gate, a folding boat. Let's see. A map of Elturel if you wish. A potion of animal friendship / husbandry, whatever you prefer. A potion of mind reading, 2 potions of poison resistance, a bag of holding, a staff of withering, and a staff of striking.
How much are the potions of poison resistance?
Of course, they're not labeled, but that would be 250 apiece.
Done.
How much for all of it?
The whole everything?
How much for all of it?
Put it in the bag of holding.
And obviously, this includes the Stronghold discount.
Stronghold, Dick.
I've been drinking too much apple juice. Leave me alone.
She's like, I can give you the storefront for you 15,000 gold.
15,000 gold. Do I have that? What do I have?
Make this like a game speller. She can go.
The adamantine plate is pretty hard to come by, to be honest. And there are some noble warriors outside that could use this.
Hold on.
Not that you couldn't. And she looks at Zesus. Not that you couldn't. Well, you have +3 plate or some crazy shit, don't you? But adamantine plate is pretty hard.
Zesus, what is your armor, Zesus?
It's like
a character. What you gotta look at? Is it +2 plate?
Hold on. Yeah, +2 plate.
Okay. Tim, close your ears a second. Out of character, we are going into a fight a god at the moment. And the god, to be honest, will laugh at our AC. In fact, it looks at us, we die. The adamantine plate would mean that you would be immune to critical hits. The +2 AC probably won't make much difference in getting hit. But the adamantine plate will stop you, the DM rolling a 20 on you and going, haha, instead of 30 damage, it's now 176.
So
okay.
I look at her and I say, if you could, do you have a space in here? Do you have space in here for me to pop open a fortress?
No, sir. It's a very small cottage. She's like, in the back where Ash is, you can.
Give me 5 minutes. I will provide you. I have 3,000 platinum pieces that will go towards you.
She presents you with like a box, you know. She's like, thank you. This is, and she just starts crying. Like, I can't believe it. Oh, the old Gideon and the Lathander Church is gonna really have a great summer.
Also,
she gives everything to charity, and you can tell.
Also, one little question on that is, obviously, we are keen not to take every item that you have. Is there any opportunity? Is there any opportunity? I know, but is there any opportunities to trade some of our items that may be useful to other people?
Absolutely. Download.
So I'm just saying, if we're giving up certain items and taking items on, we can trade them in and let other people gain some additional protection.
I have a wand of binding that nobody wants.
I'm just thinking more.
The claw of the worm rune is, and would this be the person to ask for it?
The what?
The claw of the worm rune.
What's that?
It makes you attune to it. You're immune, or you have resistance to damage caused by dragon's breath.
What? That's
the wand of metagaming. Deleted.
You told me to look at magic items, so I read through every magic item.
I told you to go find one magic item that you'd want in the Horde of Dragon Queen.
It was just rare. It's not even legendary. It's just a rare one. It's not even very
trust
rare.
me. Trust me. It's the non-rare, the non-attunable things that will screw up games.
That's true.
Like
That is true.
Like an immovable rod.
So how many decks of many things can we buy here?
Ooh.
How do we want to do?
Connor, do we really want to get rid of everything or just take everything?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is I don't think we'd need all this stuff. I just think there's certain things would be useful and other things that we would just be A, wasting our money, and B, taking it away from other people that may have other uses for it. I don't want to be that person that walks into the shop, buys everything, and everybody else goes, "Oh, the fucking wankers, they bought everything."
What about the folding boat? Do we need that thing?
No, we don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, we don't need a folding boat. How about I exchange?
We don't need the boat.
How about I exchange?
We have the folding boat.
How about I exchange the folding boat for the folding boat?
We have a folding boat already.
I know. Okay, so we won't take the boat.
Because I was thinking, you see, I'm trying to remember all the lists. You see, I know there was a couple of potions.
We don't need the glamour. We don't need the glamored studded leather. We already have. The only reason I'd take the glamorous studded leather if it was like +3, because then it'd be useful for me. Right.
But it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed not to be because the DM's mean and nasty. Right.
Do they have the gauntlets of ogre power in the store there by chance?
We have them.
Oh, we already have a set?
Yes.
I mean, I have a set, but do we have another set?
Well, we haven't got the Hammer of Thunderbolts yet either to go with it. So it's not like it's a...
Yeah, that's we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it too late for me to do research to find out more about this ritual they might be doing? Like the type of ritual?
Not too late.
May not be.
Never too late. Never too late to do intelligence-based things.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere where I can go real quick to maybe do some research on this ritual and see what kind of components are needed for it and if there's a way to stop it?
Yep. So,
am I getting this adamantine armor?
Yes.
Is that a +3?
It's actually, depending on the DM.
are some
Obviously,
folks from
Tim's-
Candlekeep in the area, and you know the
Tim's
Candle... Oh, go ahead.
Tim's in charge, but normal a adamantine armor is normally +0,
But no critical
But-
hit.
but it makes you immune to critical hits. There are some magical adamantines that have +1, +2, +3, but it depends on what it is.
What are you asking me? Sorry.
The adamantine armor, is it a +0 or is it a +1, +2, +3?
Damn it, I've been
Or
having
+8?
I've been having apple juice. And you went to Q's. What's your AC right now?
My AC is 20.
20, and it'll drop to what? With the
18.
adamantine?
14.
17?
18.
It'll drop to 18? +1.
So it
So
goes to 19.
19 armor class, but adamantine armor.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Not
Q.
too
So Q. I'm gonna adjust this if we can.
This is Connor that's made me this mean, though. But that was nice mean.
So
Because normal me would be like, it's +3.
so
Your AC is 21, and you're immune to critical hits.
we're going
But
to leave.
+1 adamantine.
So
Sorry,
Q,
Mountain. What's
no,
up?
no. So Q, we're gonna leave behind the folding boat.
Okay.
We're also gonna leave behind the glamored studded leather, unless it's greater than +2.
Okay.
Also, I don't need a map of El Terrell or Baldur's Gate, so those guys back
Okay.
there can keep those.
It's like that was a difference of 10 gold pieces, but all right.
Right.
And the Staff of the Withering may not be useful for most people.
Yeah, so we'll leave that behind. but we'll take everything else. Keep
10,000 gold.
You've got it. Done.
She's like,
hang on,
I'm sorry to have to
haggle.
take money from you.
I don't haggle.
Yeah.
Haggle. God's sake, come on! You don't just give money over.
You feel these wings flapping over you. He's like, let's be honest. It's all going to the church anyways, Connor. And I think we need the gods on our side.
Connor,
Yeah, but
we're getting cool shit.
yeah, but wow, Jesus, have you never ever grown up around a shop in your life?
No, I've always stolen it.
As the token Asian guy, I can side with Connor on this one.
So, Epione, you're looking for a bit of research before you bounce.
Yes.
You do know that there are members of Candlekeep here. There is an entourage, and you know Fallister Fisk is a guy that has been the liaison to the party for Candlekeep. And Fallister Fisk can bring you to a wizard, a pretty powerful wizard that can give you, information that you need based on something.
I asked Henry to go with me to go see him.
All right. So Fallister Fisk leads you near the High Hall. Several other wizards are there, and they lead you to a tiefling named Sylvia. Pronounce this Savicus. Red-faced, red-skinned tiefling, just stunning, beautiful. Yellow dress. She has a closet next to her side, and she's like, "Oh, what an honor to meet the both of you tonight. How may I be of assistance?" As she's picking books off a library.
Well, I hear that you know of a wizard who can tell us a little bit more about the ritual that may be bringing Tiamat back to life.
And Fallister Fisk goes, "Oh, that's her." And Sylvia's like, "Ah, it's me. Yes. This summoning, interestingly enough, will be powered by these red wizards. It'll take several of them at once. What I would imagine is timing is important. There will be a critical time to attack the wizards during the summoning. And you'll have so much time to destroy as many wizards you can, or maybe strike Tiamat while she is weak. But there will be a critical moment to strike at this deity, this five-headed beast." I'm watching your guys' text at the same time. But anyway, it's like, so it will take many wizards, many red wizards to bring her up, many offerings to bring her up. There will be an exchange of souls to Zariel, of course. That's where the Thayans come involved. I will say that the masks of the Dragon Queen will be required for this summoning. The protection of these wizards will be important to the summoning, so I would imagine devils will be sent on behalf of Zariel to protect this summoning. There will be a moment where Tiamat must be destroyed, and I'm guessing it's within the first few minutes of the summoning, but beyond that, she will be fully summoned, and if she becomes fully summoned, there's nothing any of you can do, as her eyes get very serious. If that god reaches Faerun, if the summoning is completed, and she comes out of whatever summoning circle is created, which will be immense, you'll know it when you see it. I imagine many spires and many wizards chanting on these spires. So
What's
disrupting
the best way
this.
to disrupt this? Do you know?
I don't know.
If we break their concentration, does
Killing
it ruin
wizards. When you see her form, she can be attacked. If you see a hand, if you see a face, she's vulnerable. Unless she appears to be an illusion. But you should act.
Is it more important to attack the one summoning her or Tiamat directly?
It probably would take... It depends. In the beginning, it would be the wizards summoning them. But as I imagine, they'll be highly protected until a crucial moment. When Tiamat is actually prepared to leave the Avernus. Avernus, whatever they say. But there will be a critical moment when their protection spells fall. And then the Drakhorn will sound. One long-lasting blast. Then, in a few moments, there will be a critical phase where Tiamat will be able to strike without her breath, with maybe her claws and maybe just her wings. I think she should be able to be damaged then. Anything you can think of to disrupt her. If you're looking for some secret up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, squared, I don't really have that. But I imagine that if you allow her to finish the summoning, that will be a problem. I imagine attacking the wizards before her heads come out is important, but when her heads are out, I would go for those.
Okay.
We're gonna need
Do you know of this protection spell that these wizards will be using to protect them during this?
No, I don't.
Defeat it?
No, it seems pretty powerful.
Okay. Thank you for your time. We'll see you on the battlefield.
Yes, I will be joining the ranks of what's left of Luskan. I was one of the 20 that were called up. I hope I see you again. And she pets this weird-looking demon by her side. Don't mind him.
Oh, I have one of those too.
Yeah. Do you need a brazier? I don't see yours.
Yes, I do need a brazier.
Right over there.
All right. So I'm gonna go spend the next hour bringing Slater back to life.
Slater's back. And because we're running a little short on time, is there any sort of way you guys want to get to the next place you want to go to?
I think I'm teleporting us there after. Yeah.
It's okay. I've just been pickpocketing Manu. It's fine. Don't worry.
Have you been?
Good to see her.
Manu reckoned he had money, which I was quite surprised about, that he hadn't actually checked that he had the money before he said that.
This is actually the only thing keeping me cool.
You do realise, Manu, that True Sight doesn't help against normal stealth?
I don't know what that means.
Exactly, that's why you have no money left.
So I think we should all take a long rest and then bamf the F out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do
Where
that.
do you guys want to rest?
Away from.
No, we need to.
I
think we need to run around every single shop first and buy every healing potion they possibly have got left.
Nothing left. You can't click X on any of the doors.
Why not? Why not? Try harder.
Is there a store called Z at least?
And
Z?
what we can do what we can do, Tim, if we leave the shop and go back in the shop, sometimes it refreshes the inventory. So we'll do that a couple of times to see if it actually happens.
I think there's a chest out by a rock, and I think if we go to that chest, it's probably got everything that's in this store anyways. So we can just get it for free.
Have you been playing Skyrim too much? Manu?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Henry, do you have everything that you need?
I'm good.
Kygon Rain, is there anything in the back of your mind that you need before? So Elturel's quiet as the torches in the evening, as the last remnants of the rear guard leave. Elturel is, well, it's not dark. It's got the companion, that provides of most people Epione comfort, as that appears to be her newest patron.
She does get around a bit. Epione. She seems to jump around all these different patrons.
There we go.
Is there a shop that holds the spear that kills Tiamat in it?
Yeah.
That would be.
I reckon there should be.
Can I get that?
Okay. Okay. There happens
maybe
to be
we can
no.
have a dwarf make those.
Yeah, I reckon.
After all this. So this.
As there's no healing potions, but obviously we just found some poison resist potions. Is there any other elemental resist potions that we could potentially obscure from other shops?
As you search and search and search, you've done your best to realize there's nothing left that Elturel can possibly provide you.
Okay. Epione, can you teleport us to Waterdeep so we can check all their shops?
You're wasting time, Connor. We gotta go to the ritual.
What about Luskan? What about
Cormir?
Go get some
Baldur's
rest
Gate.
so we can
Baldur's
teleport
Gate.
in the morning.
Yeah, but we could bounce all the way around and clear out the rest of Farun.
Or we
No?
Save your energy. You'll need it.
I reckon.
You'll need it
fair
for
enough.
other things.
It's okay. I recognise Tim's expression of, "Oh, shut up."
This wig is getting pretty warm.
There's no air conditioning in in the garage, so he's dying.
Okay. The question on that point, though, is it his decision to stay in the garage?
That's where his setup is, and that's the only place
Yeah.
we can set it. So
There you go.
Aside from Argent securing travel back to Baldur's Gate, that's all I have.
I'll talk to.
Argent's going back. He's not going with.
No, Argent is not going with.
Does anyone want the +2 plate mail that or +2 plate armor that I had at 65 pounds?
I'll add it to the bag.
Okay.
Kygon, you were mentioning about a hammer of what was that word you were saying? Hammer of thunder. Hey guys, does anybody know about a hammer of thunderbolts? To be honest, it's a little bit bigger than the weapons I normally use.
You could have asked Epione to ask Silvira or whatever. Yeah. And
To be honest, it's a little bit bigger than most of the weapons I use. So I feel that people are overcompensating if they use that size of weapon. So, but hey, that's up to them.
Connor. I'll kill him, guys. Don't you worry. Connor will die before this campaign's over. If all 5 heads just focus straight on him, I don't care if you kill Tiamat, Connor's gonna die. It's happening.
That's not it. As long as the party survives, I've done my job. There we go.
DM's Bane.
So before we leave Q's, I'm going to challenge Manu to an arm wrestling match. I'm going to put all my money against a bag of holding.
What?
now is it?
He wants to arm wrestle you.
Okay.
And before this happens, I put my hand in front of them and go. I look at both of them and go, "It is natural strength or magical strength?
Natural strength, of course.
Fair enough, and I put my hand up. The challenge has been set. Natural Manu o Manu. Manu o Kaigon.
No, and natural dice. No D&D Beyond. You also hear from
Bum, bum, bum.
from Kavinth, the peg-legged elf. And I'm gonna hear a clickety clack. Also,
I go.
Poor little tink.
I go. You've got a deal.
she's like, and I just happen to have the pillow, and she sets it down. You know what I mean, like for the thing, you know, and over the top. What a great movie, Sylvester Stallone.
What is my natural strength?
You guys, yeah, you guys clasp your hands together, and she ties your hand up. She's like, I loved arm wrestling back when I was a soldier. And the diva kind of looks at you, and he's like, I'm checking for honesty here.
Honesty is my best policy.
Okay. All right. Initial grip. Roll for your first strength check.
Fuck. 14.
21.
Manu presses your hand over. All right, Manu with advantage. Kaigon with disadvantage.
Fuck. Natural 1.
Guess what? Well, guess what mine was? A 10.
As his elbow slips, you are getting ready for him to push back, and you basically get him over.
I hand over my $750.
I just keep it. You keep that. I'll keep the 2 bags of holding.
Buy yourself some strength.
You're like,
Blew it. You blew it.
You know what, Kaigon? Have a pity belt of hill giant strength. You can have that.
Manu, you were there in the Horde of the Dragon Queen, and you felt that was real, that he didn't go to the hammer and went to you instead. Just so you know, just so your character knows.
Okay.
That was real. That was real to you.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So, Epione, you're outside Kavinth's or wherever you guys are at after your long rest in the High Garden. You've got the salt or whatever in a giant circle, and you're prepared to do it, to
Teleport us.
commence bamfing.
Yes. Everybody join hands.
It's really quiet. Like the High Hall is just dead. You guys, they fed you a good meal, and you guys are ready. You guys all grasp hands. Everybody's there. Everybody's there.
Hang on, before we go, is this the right time to be going? Is this when we teleport now? Are they able to create a diversion, or do they need to leave a day or so before we bump?
How long? Yeah. I guess do you know how long it takes to get from...
I don't know, DM. DM, do you know?
It was 1 week.
It's roughly 2 days to get to wherever he got his arm bit, and 2 days beyond that.
And how long does it take the army to get to where they need to get to create a diversion?
Whatever a fortnight means. I'm guessing it's 14 days.
10.
10.
Fortnight's 10 days, yeah.
So I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to figure out is if we go now, will the army be in place where we need to have the diversion? I don't think they will be. They're still here. They're still here at the moment.
Yeah. Stay
The
at the
army's
Black
gone,
River,
yeah,
drink
and
for
then
9 days, and then bamf out.
We'll leave at the right time. Obviously, I don't know what the timing is going to be.
You guys are at the right time.
We'll leave
Okay.
next set.
No, you can leave now. That's fine.
We're at the
Leave
right time,
now,
are we?
And then the next session will...
I said.
Yeah, it's that amount of days later.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
plot amount of days.
We hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Yeah.
And then bamf
the
probably to the
beam
wrong spot.
flies up, and you guys lose all control. And you guys land on that trail where Apione last saw Warduke. In the distance, down a trail up to a dark black tower, you see a naked man with a scarred face, laying like emaciated, and looks up in front of you guys, and you see a hopeless Warduke. To be continued.
I'll say, didn't we kill
You're
him
not gonna
already?
kill him just yet. He gets to live for one more session.
I shoot him in the head. I shoot him in the head. I shoot him in the head.
And with that, we'll leave it.
All right.
Thanks everybody for sticking that out.
If he thinks he's going to survive that combat, he's very much mistaken.
We'll see you guys
cast
next week.
minor illusion and put a big rat in front of it.
All I have to say is, it's not just me now. We've got Manu, Epione, Henry, Azisis. That's it. We're sorted. Look, we got Krygon. We got Lantaurus. He's screwed.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. The little one wants to play.
Bye, everyone.